Toronto. I'm in Toronto, wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto, wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto, wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love.
Welcome to episode 1232 of Toronto Mic'd, proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Season 4 of Yes, We Are Open, the award-winning podcast from Maneris, Electronic Products Recycling Association. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. The Moment Lab, brand marketing and strategy, PR, advertising, and production. You need the Moment Lab. And Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. We are live from the GLB Brewpub, and joining me to kick things off, a gentleman making his Toronto Mic debut, Anthony Farnell.
Yes.
Anthony, how you doing, buddy?
I am good, Mike. I like your setup here. I like where we're at in a brewery. So far, everything's great.
Is this your first visit to the GLB Brewpub at Jarvis and Queens Quay?
It is my second time here.
Second time here.
Yeah, but I've been at their original place a few times when doing Costco shopping.
Okay, that's not far from my hood. Why? And the answer might be that I've never invited you. So tell me if that's the truth, okay? Why have you not made the trek to the Toronto Mic'd home base in New Toronto?
Yeah, that would be why. Yeah, I generally don't just show up uninvited, but
okay.
I will now.
Well, you know why? Because if you came over, I would give you more Great Lakes beer.
Are you inviting me?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is official, so you'll get beer from the aforementioned Great Lakes, but I will also give you a large lasagna, frozen lasagna from Palma Pasta. I'm not kidding. I just gave it to Ed Keenan like 2 hours ago.
Oh my God. Okay, well.
Okay, done deal.
Food and an invite. Wow, that's all I need.
And Ridley Funeral Home will give you, I don't know, measuring tape. You never know if you have to measure something, right?
Yeah, always. I'm a part-time tailor.
See, I'm doing this all off the top because things are going to get crazy, but I can also get you a wireless speaker so you can listen to Season 4 of the Yes, We Are Open podcast, an award-winning podcast from Maneris, hosted by FOTML Grego. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, talk to me. You just did a live hit here. Tell me what just went down. So where did that air? Give me some 101 here.
So I am a meteorologist. I am.
But you're a real meteorologist.
I'm a real meteorologist.
You're not a weather presenter.
No, not a specialist.
So you went to school for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I see your credentials?
Well, I luckily
your
have them right here. No, I don't bring them out.
Okay,
with
you're
me.
a meteorologist.
Yeah.
I have more respect for you now.
Yeah. So it's kind of a 4-year science program in Vermont. I went for that. This is going way back right off the top, but So that is why I'm here. Global News said you got to come down and help your AM 640 friends out.
Oh, because you're in the same chorus family.
Yes, and I often
one hand washes the other.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, I just heard that's how Nick Riviera remembered to wash his hands before surgery, because he said that expression: one hand washes the other. And he goes, "Oh yeah."
Oh, I should.
He forgot.
That. Yeah.
So Anthony, when did you join Global and become their meteorologist?
It was a long time ago. I started in Global Montreal, in Montreal. And
are you a Montreal guy?
I'm a Montreal guy, yeah.
Okay, get off my podcast. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
No, just kidding.
I'm a
my daughter's
Habs
living in
fan.
Montreal right now, so I got to be
really?
nice.
Okay,
yeah,
you got to be
right
nice.
now.
You got to be nice. It is, yes, that's where I started.
You're a Habs fan.
I moved here in 2006 and became kind of the top weather guy here in Toronto at Global, and I haven't looked back. It's been now, 18 years about, or...
Really? Because you look young. You get told this a lot.
Yeah,
how can you be 18 years anywhere?
Well, a lot of beer drinking and a good night's sleep. I don't know yet.
Do you know this beer? And I'm sure this will come up later. But this beer is like the branded. And again, I was not paid. Who are you saying hi to there? Somebody recognize you?
My buddy Shay. Yeah, he just walking by.
Shay Hillenbrand.
Shay is a character that you will see everywhere and nowhere. He is a mystery. He may be a ghost. Did you see him? You saw him as well?
No, I just saw the back of him. Like now I see him crossing Jarvis here.
He is a character that you...
He works with you?
No.
You're just a buddy?
No, just a buddy. And I don't... You know what? Like, I don't even know... what to say about him. Don't investigate, though, because he's got...
You said too much already. Anthony's just ixnay on the ombre, okay?
Yeah.
So, this beer, just to finish this thought.
Yeah.
So, again, I want to point out to the listenership that I didn't get, Chorus didn't cut me a check, okay? Mm-hmm. This is not like, sometimes you pay for, like, live remote from something. I'm here because, A, it's Great Lakes Brewery, and they've been cutting me checks for a long time. So I love their fresh craft beer. So, but when it comes to this AM 640 event, I just heard a whole bunch of FOTMs are going to be here, and then I heard Anthony Farnell is going to be here, and I said I need a piece of that action.
Yeah. Well, I'm here, and again, I didn't quite get the invite, but when you run into
I'll
me...
rectify that. Yeah. I follow you on Twitter.
Okay, yeah, and I follow you. So I knew your name. We had kind of virtually introduced ourselves, but yeah, it's actually really good to be here, and this is
so. This beer is like the what do you know about this beer? This is like a special 640 beer.
Yeah, it is. So it was kind of brewed for them. It was a collaboration, and I basically got an invite a couple months ago, and I'm like, let's go live from there. Let's go early, and it's a crisp, refreshing beer that is great for the summer, and do you
know what % alcohol this is?
I believe...
Because I'm hammered already.
I
just kidding, everybody.
Yeah. It has a bit of a bite, but it's actually 5%, and it's a lager. So
that's like water. Come on, no.
Yeah.
That's actually, it's really tasty, but brewed by Great Lakes. And like, what do they call this? What's the name of this beer?
Well, here it is. Breaking Brews.
Wow, who came up with that?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It was good. I did a little weather tease. It was like breaking news, breaking booze. It's going to be a beautiful weekend.
So you got to be careful, though. Yeah. Is it breaking brews or breaking booze?
Now you have now there are too many bees.
Too many bees. Okay. So let's talk real here, otherwise known as Real Talk. So it's 6:32 right now on April 6th. This is a Thursday afternoon. It's like you did a live hit. So when's your next live hit? Like when are you going to be live on Global?
Well, we're done for the day.
Oh,
so,
you're done.
Yeah. So we did. We were down at Sugar Beach, right across the street. We did. We looked into the water and we saw that it was kind of murky and dirty because it's been raining a lot. And
it rained all day yesterday.
Yeah. So today.
But you would know that, wouldn't you?
I would know that. Oh, really, Mike? Did it really? Yeah.
Who am I mansplaining meteorology to this guy here?
Yeah, no, so then, so I'm done for the day. I am working this weekend, but hey, I'm done for the day.
How hard do they work you at Chorus here? They get you 5 days a week? Is that the Anthony schedule?
5 days a week. We do also, I'm in charge of other markets, Montreal, Halifax, New Brunswick. I did Global National today where we're covering this crazy ice storm in Eastern Ontario, Quebec. Right. So it's a busy day, but it's what I like to do. It's what I kind of have been doing.
Well, you love what you do, right? That's why you went to school to be a meteorologist. Like, was your dream there to always be like on television, or was this like I'm going to work for Environment Canada or something?
Yeah, it changed a little, but I've always had the dream. I've always loved weather. I've always been that kid at the window outside. I mean, way too close to thunderstorms. And then the ice storm happened in 1998. It was a big event for me in Montreal. I was 18 years old. Didn't really know what I wanted.
I'm doing the math now. Hold on. 98, 18. That's easy
I'm
math.
an 80 kid, yeah.
Okay.
I know. That's why math, by the way, was something I needed. And then I kind of went and did my meteorology degree after that. So, yeah.
Okay, so did you wanted to move to the Big Smoke? Like, what brought you to the T-Dot?
Not necessarily, actually. And back then, it's less now, I find, but back then there was a pretty big rivalry. Montrealers always were angry at kind of, whether it was a brain drain to Toronto or just, they just were angry that people were leaving, especially English Montreal.
Right.
And at the same time, there were a lot more opportunities in Toronto. And my former news director moved here and said, hey, do you want a pay increase? And I said, yes.
And you said, I want more money, and you already knew you had a face for television. Like, you've been told this your whole life.
Well, no. Yeah, you have a face for television. Why, have you been told you have a face for radio? Is that... Oh.
No, I'm not. Yeah. Please, that was a compliment.
Okay,
please.
I'll take that.
You can review that. I recorded this. You can go back and listen and say, it was a compliment.
That was a compliment. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, TV kind of came at university when we had a great television station at our university.
Wait, what university?
This is in Vermont. A really good meteorology school and a really good TV school, and that was about it. Small town, Lyndonville, Vermont.
Why do our meteorologists tend to come from the United States? I'm thinking of Adam Stiles, okay?
Yeah.
He's an American.
He likes beer as well.
Yeah, he loves beer. He loves beer. I think he started his own brewery in his bathtub or something.
Yeah.
Loves beer, loves meteorology, even though I think he changed up his career or something, but he's an American.
Yeah, so...
Not that you're American.
No, but I went to school there, and my parents have a cottage there, but that's another story. But I think a lot of it is meteorology versus atmospheric sciences. In Canada,
talk to me. Now you've got my attention.
In Canada, it's a...
No, I'm back,
It's all
Anthony.
directed towards research and furthering your education and studying... Yet in the States, you have more meteorology where you can get a TV kind of path, and it's easier. And they have 20 meteorologists in a small 100,000 person city. Yet here in Canada's biggest city, we have maybe 3, 4.
Can you name them all?
I probably
Let's
could.
go.
Yeah.
I know you can, okay? No, let's do it. And shout out, and again, this is not a paid spot for chorus, so I want to hear the station and the person who is also a meteorologist in this market.
Okay, well,
I'm ready, Anthony.
we have the Weather Network here, so I'm not going to go into them. They're separate.
They're separate.
But as far as the big TV stations, right now, I mean, we got Ross Hull and me at Global, at Chorus, and that may... I'm not saying that's it.
Wow. You said that's it?
I don't know. There are, when you have kind of the mail-in program or just where you go and do a small online course, there's a few of those maybe, but...
Okay, so there's no local meteorologist at, let's say, City News?
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, I know.
Come on,
Natasha.
I'm
good friends with Natasha. She's going to actually... she's going to hurt me, but Natasha I've known for a long time. She's great. She's also on 680 News, and there's Jill Tail. Okay, there's a few meteorologists that around, but none as good as me.
No, actually now I'm going to blow a little smoke up your ass, so bend over, Anthony, but I've been told you're one of the good ones there's no sensationalizing of the weather. You're my pet peeve is that, let's say, I don't know, I'll make this up, I'm not a meteorologist, but there's a 30% chance of this snowstorm or whatever, and you kind of lean in on the fact, a big storm is coming, this gets people tuned in.
Yeah.
Panic.
Yeah, panic.
But you seem to be more, you play it up the middle, and you're less likely to sensationalize the weather that you're...
Yeah, I try to kind of have that middle ground. You don't want to be boring and downplay it because you're being paid to have eyeballs watching, and you need to kind of get excited. But at the same time, people are tired of sensationalizing everything, and especially weather.
And if you do it too much, it's like the boy who cried wolf. At some point, when there is something like a weather emergency is imminent, it's like, oh yeah, again, I'll pass. I've been there, done that, bought the T-shirt. You have to kind of save your bullets for when there's
But also
a target.
Being a Montrealer and first moving to Toronto, if you get 5 centimeters of snow here, it is an emergency. It's a chaos out there.
Okay, my daughter is living in Montreal right now, and so all winter, we FaceTime, and then I'll say, we're no snow on the ground or this night, and she's always got snowstorms. So this is just the nature of Montreal, where they just get a bunch more snow, so they're used to it and they kind of roll with it.
Yeah, and they kind of know what to do with it and how to drive in it and how to get rid of it. That's something that we plow it to the sides of the street in Ontario, but we don't remove it. We don't have the snow blowers and the trucks to get it. I don't know where they put it, but they get it out of here.
Are they melting it? Is there a melting facility?
I'm no expert on that.
Does it end up in the drinking water?
Yeah, probably.
It sounds like that's a solution to multiple problems. What Montreal is going on there. And you said you were a Habs fan in chess, but you really are a Habs fan?
I am. There are years I take off, and as you're more removed from being a Montrealer, and my family's some of them have moved away, you become a bit less so, especially when they're losing. But I'll come back.
So not many years ago, there was a 7-game series between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Habs, and we lost that series.
Yeah,
me and my Toronto Maple Leafs.
You sound surprised.
Yeah. Well, I know Carey Price played well, but I had predicted a 4-game sweep. I remember feeling a lot of swagger. So what's it like for you to be here and to have that, I would call it, shout out to the Germans listening, Schadenfreude.
Yes, I'm half German also, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which half? I need to know.
Yeah. I got some Bulgarian in there, too.
Wow.
And,
what's Farnell? Farnell,
that is English, Scottish, maybe.
A lot going on there. Yeah, it sounds Scottish to me, Farnell.
Multiple Canadian generations, though, on that side. So,
okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, continue, sorry.
But yeah, so what was the question?
I don't know. Just was there Schadenfreude? I just wanted to say Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
Okay. But was there Schadenfreude when you realized the Leafs are coughing this up? The Habs are going to win this series.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't.
You bastard.
Yeah, but I also. I had to play it safe. I was a Habs fan, but you know that you're on TV in Toronto and you have to be neutral, sort of, kind of.
You don't have to. I mean, I'm just thinking now of like John Gallagher. Do you know this name? John Gallagher. Yeah. Who like just wore his like Habs love. Well, he's from Nova Scotia, so I think he earned it or whatever. You know who else would just like didn't give a rat's ass? George Stroumboulopoulos.
Yes,
and he's from Rexdale.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't understand that, but
I asked him. He came over and I said, "What's the deal?" And he says, he likes to be contrarian. Like he just did it to like
and then
screw
it sticks,
us.
and then it sticks, and you
and he's a Habs guy, and he's from Etobicoke.
Yeah, and did he have to be neutral when he was doing Hockey Night in Canada? And
not really. He's a host. I don't think he had to be neutral. He's not like he's not a journalist.
Right.
I don't think he had to be
unbiased
neutral.
Meteorologist.
He's not a journalist like you. So this summer, I mean, I don't know how meteorology works, but this summer. Is it fair to say like 30 degrees and sunny every day? Is that what you're predicting, Anthony?
Is that what you want? Yeah.
I like that. I like it hot.
Yeah, you know what? I think it actually is going to be a hot summer. It is. Everything kind of is pointing that way. Hot, humidity, and some rain. I don't know. I think it's going to be a hot but overall very pleasant summer.
I like it. Like this is my hot take. Is that pun intended? I like it hot and sticky. Yeah. I like that feeling of like I'm in a sauna right now. I like to go for a hard bike ride in like 40-degree weather.
You mentioned it's April now. Are you the guy that says that in April and then come July you're like, get me out of here?
No, I've never ever shortened a bike ride because it was too hot in my life. But I have shortened many bike rides because it was too cold.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's
like
fair.
I actually dig it. Like, I mean, I'm fine with the cold because I bike all year round. But when it's, let's say they say, it's 40, it's going to feel like 40 degrees in Toronto. You know, I'm like, screw it. I'm going out for my 90-minute ride or whatever, and I'm going to go hard, and I'm going to sweat, and it's going to feel great.
Yeah. Now, I bike to work pretty much every day in the summer, and I try my hardest not to sweat. Because I don't have access to a shower when I get there.
But you're a TV guy.
So I'm going slow. I'm going just below the sweat level.
What is that, like 13K an hour? What is it, Anthony?
About that. It depends.
So they don't have chorus? Doesn't have a shower for you?
They have a shower, but it's in, this is no joke.
This is breaking news right
here. Susan Hayes' dressing room. So
that's a legend's name you just dropped.
Yes, yeah. She was the original weather person at Global, weather specialist at Chorus. So she has a dressing room. She's been there 30 years. She's
more, I bet. I'm just. She was there in the sports line days, definitely early 90s.
It's been a long go. But I also don't. I mean, I know her well, but I'm not gonna she's not gonna arrive at Chorus and I'm using her shower to get ready.
You shouldn't go. You're a big deal. She's not a meteorologist.
No, that's true. But she makes a difference, though. She does things. But
who's your boss? Do you want me to talk to them?
I think you should. Yeah, because otherwise I'm just the guy in the sink doing the armpit thing.
Yeah.
And trying to
see. I don't have this. I understand where you're coming from. You don't want to be hot and sweaty if you got to go on TV. Like it's not really fair to you.
Now biking home after? I'm letting loose. Yeah.
You don't have to be. Okay, write down your address. No, just kidding. Anthony, what neighborhood in Toronto do you call home?
I am in the Riverdale neighborhood, Leslieville, Riverdale.
Is that where Archie Andrews lives and Big Moose?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's a long commute. But yeah, that's where I live, and what's great is I can get into the ravine and I can get up to work, and I don't even hit a light. Like I get out of the ravine and I'm right at Global News up at Barber Green, and it is great.
So pardon me, I'm only familiar with west of Yonge. No, just kidding. But where exactly is this Global News? Because I know the Chorus Key building is in this hood. It's like by Sugar Beach.
Yeah, and they don't let us do news there. They allow a morning show, and that's about it. But we are up...
Carolyn McKenzie, a year younger than me, was at my high school at the same time.
Okay, I miss her. Like, I mean, she's not gone, but she's... Once you
This
turn into a morning
again?
person, she's gone to me. So she's great. I used to do the 11 o'clock news with her, and we just let loose and just chatted, and it was fun.
But that ride you're describing, perfect. But I don't think I quite got the location of where's that Global
north
News?
of Eglinton. You know, the crosstown LRT that has been open for so many years. And
so Eglinton and what?
And Don Mills.
Okay.
Don Mills. If you are looking for a dangerous bike ride, do the Don Mills stretch from basically Overlea up to about Eglinton. And if in that right lane, it is an adventure, especially in April. You got some pretty good potholes and rocks.
Wow.
And it's fun.
See, now you're on the right podcast. I just want to let the FOTMs listening know that I'm going to spend the next 90 minutes talking to Anthony about cycling in Toronto. So, absolutely. Anthony, so you are I don't want to drain the swamp here, so to speak, because I want you to come over.
I'm starting to look at people having fun. So
well, I'm going to let you go.
Not that you're not.
We need another body, though.
Okay. Troy, are you going to get Troy over there?
Get me anybody. So you're going to tag
Troy
somebody
over.
in. You can, but while we wait for somebody to tag in, and I'll take any warm body over there while we wait for some of these FOTMs to arrive. What kind of music do you listen to?
I am. Okay, I will listen to anything. Growing up, I was not growing up, but in university, I was known as musically declined, meaning that I had no idea about music. I liked kind of, when you type in a mood and then your music kind of appears in front of you.
So you didn't have a favorite band?
I didn't.
Okay,
I never did. Yeah.
Is that when you were really growing up pre-university?
Yeah.
You didn't have a favorite radio station you would tune in, like Shom?
Yeah. I was a Shom guy. Yeah.
Shom?
Yeah. Shom in Montreal.
That's all I know in Montreal.
Yeah,
so don't
but the
ask me
second
that.
I picked a band, even from high school, I picked a band, and then my other friends were also liking that band, and they were into it. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, I like them, but I'm not gonna.
Can you name the band? Like, is there a name the band?
I mean,
I'm thinking you're born in 80.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
Def Leppard. I feel like maybe
it was a bit of a Metallica crowd back then. Yeah,
that's all right.
And then we had kind of the Kurt Cobain crowd too. In
grunge?
high school, the grunge. Yeah,
it
was a good mix. It was Lachine High in Lachine.
So these
West
days,
Island.
is there music you gravitate towards here as we speak in 2023?
Yeah, I mean,
you can sit down if you want. If you want to pop on.
Oh, I was going do you guys want beer? And you were going.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have a beer. So Troy Burtch, if you don't want to find a body to sit here, we need to. Okay, Troy's gonna sit down here. Okay.
Troy is great. I know.
How do you know Troy?
I met Troy years ago. By the way, Great Lakes Brewery has a lot of weather-themed brews that they do. I mean, they have a beer called Lake Effect. Which, I mean, we're in the Great Lakes. I'm a meteorologist. Lake Effect's
do you have time to explain the Lake Effect to me?
Sure. Yeah,
Why is it when everybody? Two things I want to know, because I live close to the lake. Okay,
yes.
So that's an important part here. Yeah. One is that not everybody, but people in Toronto are talking about all the snow, and I'll have no snow. This is one thing that happens, and the second thing is typically in May or this time of year, people in Toronto will be saying, "Oh, it's shorts weather," and I'll be in a jacket.
Yeah, same thing. That's all the lake, but it's the side of the lake you're on.
Okay.
So, basically,
explain it to Troy and I. We don't understand. We're not as bright as you.
You're.
Lake Effect, all I hear is IPA.
Oh, I have to unmute you.
Sorry. Yeah, Lake Effect. All I hear is IPA.
Yeah,
So we're talking about Lake Effect.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Well, that's
what
how
we're
it
talking
started.
about.
But now I'm getting into the
Because
science.
he says Great Lakes has a whole bunch of weather-themed beers.
You kind of do, right? I mean,
Yeah, we dropped one off years ago.
yeah,
We
right
wanted
on
some
my
free
doorstep.
publicity. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was. I was much appreciated.
Okay. Explain the lake effect.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
right.
you got to
Yeah.
save the rest for your Toronto. This is your Toronto Mike debut,
Yeah.
but you will be back in New Toronto,
Yes,
where you'll
okay.
get some fresh craft beer.
Okay, I will do that. So quickly, lake effect. Basically, what you need to know is that land warms up and cools down a lot quicker than water, and these big bodies of water in the fall and early winter don't freeze right away. They take a long time to get cool, and when that first cold blast comes across,
Yeah.
picks up moisture and delivers it. And now, because we live in the northern hemisphere, we have westerly winds a lot of the time. So if you are on the west side of a large body of water, the prevailing wind is going to bring all that moisture and snow to the other side. So that's why Buffalo gets it. And if you're in...
Love it.
Yeah.
Isn't that
And
amazing?
that's where the name came from. Lake
Yeah.
Effect Snow in
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Right.
Exactly.
It was conceived, the beer name was conceived while drinking copious amounts of American IPA on a stoop in Buffalo. Mike Lackey.
Mike Lackey, FOTM Mike Lackey.
Yeah.
See, that's why Troy's here. He
Right.
gives us the rest of the story.
Yeah, I like that. And I was, I've covered plenty of lake effect outbreaks in Buffalo, but it would be nice to have maybe a six-pack next time. And just
Well, he's coming
after a
over,
long
Troy,
day.
so we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we just sold out of Lake Effect, though. It's gone for the year.
Yeah, well,
you'll have to come back next year.
Sunnyside, you got a lot of weather names, right? There's a lot of...
Oh, yeah, so Sunnyside, is it available now?
Sunnyside's now available, and it's like 400 LCBOs across the province is rolling out to. Home delivery through our online shop, and it's at both Brewpub and the retail store in Etobicoke.
I love the Sunnyside.
Who doesn't? It's
Well,
an amazing beer.
And I like it because I can drink 3 of them and be okay. Like, it's like if I
You
if I
watch the
pound
owner
back,
tonight, Peter Bullitt, he's just gonna. That's all he's drinking is Sunnyside. It's 3.9%.
Yeah.
It's
Easy
perfect.
drinking, full flavor. As Roland Baggett's, the character on the label says, big on the taste, low on the alcohol.
Okay, so Anthony, I'll be DMing you. I'm going to slide into your DMs, and we're going to get this in the calendar because it'll be fun to have you over.
An invite is all I needed, but
You're gonna love
Mike,
it.
I appreciate the time. Yeah.
No, nice to meet you. I know we follow each other on Twitter, but nice to finally meet you. We got the photo. But your job is, because I'm like, is it Watley on Seinfeld? He gives everybody tasks when they come to his party. So you can leave now. I'm going to chat up Troy.
Yeah.
But you have to actually go to a chorus person and tag them in to take your mic.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. Now,
So-
are you looking for
anyone who can
anybody
eloquent
who is
speaker?
breathing?
Yeah, like somebody may be interested. I mean, get that Chapman. Is there a Chapman?
Yeah, I like
What's
him.
his first name?
He can talk though.
What's his
Jason
first name?
Chapman,
Jason,
Yeah.
Jason
Give me
can
Jason
chat. Yeah,
Chapman,
he can chat.
so you can
He-
just take off the headphones
Yeah,
and stick
okay.
them here.
All right.
And,
Hey, just a word
Alright.
of advice when you go over to
Yeah.
New Toronto there is to watch your head when you're going downstairs.
oh yeah.
Okay, good.
How
You're a
tall
tall
are you,
guy.
Anthony?
I'm 6'4" and a bit. Yeah.
Okay, because Robbie J is coming soon. He's working in your podcast division at Chorus.
Okay.
I think he's got a couple inches on you actually,
Yeah.
and you do need to watch your
We'll
head.
go back to back. Okay.
5'8" guys hit their head on my ceiling.
Oh.
So do that. Go tag
Okay,
in another
I will-
chorus
I
guy.
will get somebody over.
I'm going to
All right,
catch
see you
up
guys.
with
Cheers.
FOTM Troy Burtch. Troy, how you doing, buddy?
Amazing.
Amazing. How does this come to be? Like, I'm trying to paint a picture for everybody. So the GLB Brewpub, is it closed to the public today?
Closed to the public. Chorus, through Chorus Cast that we're working a lot with. They've invited a lot of people. And there are neighbors here in
Sugar Beach, or right next
East
door.
Bayfront Toronto is
that what it's called?
the new term for down here.
Oh.
So they're right across the road. I have history with Amanda Capito, who
Oh, from 1010.
from 1010, and just from being around Toronto. And so with us opening, them coming back to work in the office, we noticed that there was a lot of Chorus people here having lunch, having dinner, and we said, let's work together, let's do something, and this is the result.
The
Breaking Brews.
Breaking Brews, which is tasty. This is the 640 beer, and I'm trying to think now. So last time I've been here many times actually since, but I was here for the grand opening of GLB Brewpub, which is like Jarvis and Queens Quay, which is, by the way, beautiful space. Like, so congrats again. This is a beautiful space.
The old government nightclub location.
Really? Well, they tore. This is a new building, though, right?
Oh yeah, brand new building.
Because I used
We're
to go
on the back
to
end of it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But last time I was here, Brad Bradford was here, and we had a good chat about cycling Toronto. Like, this was the topic we had.
Yeah.
Brad Bradford, definitely a friend of Great Lakes Brewery. Are you hoping he wins this mayoral election, or are you're not allowed to say?
Great Lakes. Great Lakes is agnostic.
Troy Burtch.
Oh, Brad's a good friend of mine. He ran for councillor of Ward 19 back in 2018, I guess. It's crazy the years have gone by. But no, he came into my backyard. We did you would call pints and politics. And he came by to my backyard with all of our neighbors, and this relatively unknown, well, he was unknown. No one knew who the hell he was or where he came from.
Right.
He came to our backyard, and he guzzled a couple sunny sides with his wife in attendance, and we got to know him. And he's a good guy. He's a smart guy. And he is a fan of craft beer in Great Lakes. That's all I can say at this point, but he's...
you got to be careful. I heard there's other candidates for mayor that are going to be at this party tonight, so you got to be careful.
That's what I hear as well, too. So, one thing I will say is it's amazing that there's so many names in this mayoral contest or mayoral election. There's going to be a lot of issues that are brought up and a lot of issues discussed, and I'm looking forward to... as a political junkie, I'm looking forward to the discussion that's
wide open, right?
Happen.
Like, I had Ed Keenan over today, so this is episode 1233, but episode 1232 was Ed Keenan's quarterly appearance, and we went through some of the names, like on the right and in the center and then in the left, and there's like 12 potential winners of this thing. It's wild.
It's going to be very interesting, and I am... I'm interested to see. I heard Anna Bailau made a nice announcement today. Sounds really great. Move the Science Center down to Ontario Place and then build housing up there. And that's a great idea. But it's going to be a fun election. That's for sure. Something Toronto hasn't had in a long, long time. Or any municipality for that fact.
I'm trying to think. The last race we had, I suppose, was when Rob Ford had to leave because of health issues, and he...
I'll tell you a great story about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good story. Yeah,
I love stories.
I used to... Toronto Beer Week. Myself and a bunch of friends started Toronto Beer Week back in 2010. And what year was that? That would have been 2008.
2010,
No, the Rob Ford... that would have been 2018.
I think it's 2006.
No,
2010. 2010. I think it's 2010.
No, there was 2010 when...
2010 he wins. And then 2014 is when it's Doug, John Tory, and Olivia Chow.
That's it. So 2014, and Karen Stintz was involved in that election, I think, right? So we were running Toronto Beer Week, events all across Toronto, 9 days of beer events. And we invited every single mayoral candidate to come out to our opening thing. We had them all lined up. Everyone was coming, even Rob Ford. And then we got notice about 2 hours before the event that he was going to make this big announcement, and everyone dropped out because they felt they couldn't campaign while Rob Ford was dealing with his cancer announcement.
Right.
So, very unfortunate for the Ford family, but also, unfortunate for Toronto Beer Week because we were gonna grill them while they were drinking beer.
This is FOTM Dan Speerin walking by the way. So shout out to FOTM Dan Speerin. Yeah. Okay, I'm calling over Chapman here, but Jason Chapman. Jason, sit down, buddy. Hey, stick on these headphones.
Thanks, bud. What time is
Troy.
it, guys?
So what is this, a 4-hour episode or what? Well,
I was thinking last time I did something like this was the party for Martin Streak. We were 10 years since he had passed away. We did something at the Opera House, and it was kind of like this, just people in and out, and it ended up being a few hours, but it was really cool, like lots of different voices. So Jason Chapman, and you're my co-host now, Troy, so I'm promoting you to co-host.
Congratulations,
Tell us,
Troy.
What do you do at 640 Toronto?
I am the executive producer. So I work with our team of producers and the hosts, and we're recording this on, what is today, April 6th, right? And so today was a phenomenal day. My job would say, Josh Matlow, Anna Bailau, Who else made an announcement today? Brad
We
Bradford.
were just talking about this.
My goodness. So how do we talk about all of these mayoral candidates promising the moon?
So what's your title, though? What's your
executive producer?
Okay, executive producer. Okay, so you're kind of the straw that stirs the drink with regards to the content on 640. Or am I overselling you?
That's a very
Just take it. Just take it.
I will take it. Yeah, no, we do like. You know what I like to do, Mike, is I like to on the second floor of our building where our producers and technical producers and hosts meet and the newsroom is to do exactly that. Stir the drink and say, okay, here's all these announcements. How do we talk about these? How do we talk about this for 3 hours sometimes?
And
then they come over to Great Lakes Brewpub and have a couple drinks, and that's where the juices start flowing.
That's right. It's ChatGPT and great brews at Great Lakes Brewing that inspire us. But yeah.
And can I call you Chappie? Is that inappropriate? Like
what I've been called since
okay, I feel like calling him Chappie. So Chappie, do you report into Amanda Capito?
I do, yeah. She's my direct boss. Yeah.
But you're doing all the work, right?
Amanda knows that we work well together as a team. Right? That's it, yes.
Are you reading that script? I feel like there's a...
It's right there on the coaster.
No pen in front
yeah,
of
no, we work hand in hand. I mean, Amanda does bigger picture things. I don't touch a budget, thank goodness. And so that lets me spend more time on the editorial side. But how do you take a news story and talk it? That's my job.
Okay, and so you would basically work closely with, let's pick on an FOTM. Let's say Greg Brady.
Yep.
So Greg is a morning show. We all know how important that role is. You basically, do you have like a meeting with Greg and say, here's how we can tackle this and we can fold this in? Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, with Shiva Siddiqui, his producer, the three of us would have a conversation, especially when it gets into tough stuff, Mike. I mean, there's a lot of hot button issues that...
Right.
We can take the teacher that was in Oakville, Trafalgar. That's a really hard story to talk about in Toronto these days or in Oakville. But there's so many different ways to take that story. From the day that story broke,
yeah,
it had nothing to do for me about gender identity. It had everything to do about the lack of leadership exhibited by trustees and the director of education in Halton. And how do you parse that apart? So, how do you talk about that? There's so many different ways to take hot button
Lots
issues.
of layers to this onion.
There are. And how do you actually take those and make those smart?
Oh, you know what? This guy heard his name.
Yeah,
so,
of course he did.
Troy,
I have to talk to... Troy,
yeah.
you stay.
You have to
I
leave?
have to go talk to some listeners right now, Mike.
Oh,
you know listeners here?
We have listeners here.
I thought this was a private event. Who let the listeners in?
Some listeners.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We're gonna get Fabian Skidmore in here for 2 seconds.
I'm
Thanks,
just
Mike.
missing Chappie.
Fabian Skidmore.
Fabian's never been on Toronto Mike, right? Get over here and tell us what exactly would you say you do here at Great Lakes Brewery, Fabian?
I don't know. What is this, podcast or something?
Fabian, he's wearing a blazer today, so that means today.
I'm all business
today he was running the brewery.
I follow Fabian on Twitter, and I always, you better get over here. I'm talking to Kelly Cutrara here, so you better get over here. I always call him the Only Cafe because what is your handle on Twitter?
Only Cafe Fabe.
And
Okay.
I've told him so many times he's got to change that.
Have you ever played with Ron Hawkins from Lowest to the Low?
No, I have not played with him.
Do you want me to set that up for you?
Yeah, I think.
What do you
he
play
and I
though? Like,
should
what are you?
jam.
You a guitar singer songwriter? What are you?
Well, right
On
now
that
I'm a bass player and a singer in a band, but mostly I like playing guitar and singing, songwriting, and whatever.
What's your band?
Johnny Neither.
Johnny Neither?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
We've been around since the mid '90s, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Love it, Fabian. You're a good friend. I'm telling you. I see this face at the Great Lakes at the Etobicoke location, though. I never see you. How often do you get to the Brewpub?
Once a week. Or
Once
so.
a week.
Once a weekish. Whenever
See, I
there's
come
a
to the
meeting.
Brewpub, and I always wonder, like, where are my Great Lakes friends? Like, it's just a whole. It's so bizarre. It's like all these new faces, but all my friends are at the Etobicoke location.
So what this guy actually does, we haven't
Yeah,
determined that. He's our art
artistic.
director.
So
he's got the highest title in the entire brewery. No, Fabian creates all of our labels. Fabian does copywriting. Fabian does video copy and editing and
artistic guy.
he is the creative juices behind the
you know,
beers.
I give these craft beers to guests on Toronto Mike. I do it several times a week. I just gave Ed Keenan a big 6-pack of fresh craft beer. The biggest compliment, I mean, other than the fact it's delicious, is they love these labels. Like, they love the artwork and the creativity in these labels. You take some credit for that?
Yeah, I like to try to I like to try to make it pop off the shelf.
Wow.
When it's
more than a pretty face, right? Troy?
Especially when it's against 400 other Ontario breweries on the LCBO
Well, fuck those
shelves,
guys.
right? So.
Well, yeah.
He's very modest.
I can see that.
Yeah, in 2012 he came on board as to rebrand the actual brewery. He redid the label or the logo, and then over the years he's just injected himself more and more into the brand identity, and he's taken a huge role over the last 3 years in creating a new look, a new voice. And he's done an amazing job at it. And
congratulations, Fabian.
I'm trying not to show the redness in my face on the airwaves. We're on the airwaves, right? On the radio.
There's tubes. Al Gore invented this way back in the 80s there. But there's tubes, and then it gets to your device.
Well, that's what I was talking about.
Amazing. Okay, so Fabian finally got your voice on the program. If I go to YouTube, will I find some music by your band?
Yeah, Johnny Neither.
Because I'm going to do that.
00 or something like that. Whatever
I'm
they
going to
gave
search
us.
Johnny Neither. Yeah. Do you hate it when people call your band Johnny Neither?
That's what I thought it was.
That actually doesn't irritate me in the context
Just
of
don't call
the
me
band life.
late for.
It irritates me in the context of everyday life.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
It's
man.
like saying our beer is affordably attainable. He hates that, but it is.
Bitch, I can't believe you said that.
Who came up with fiercely independent?
Some other brewery, probably years and years ago. But
okay.
no, it's 100% true. We're owned by Peter Bullitt, one guy, and we're fiercely independent. We have no one. Well, Peter has no one to to show the reports or the numbers to. We have to make sure he's happy with those. But
sure,
yeah, fiercely independent and fiercely local.
And I think I asked this of Peter a few times, but like when the Brinks truck is parked in the parking lot of Great Lakes Brewery in Etobicoke, does it matter how much is in the Brinks truck?
To sell?
Yeah.
If I was Peter, yeah, I would say how much is in there for sure.
Just out of curiosity, how much is in the Brinks truck? Not that I'm I'm still fiercely independent. I'm just curious what's in that Brinks truck there.
And what time does it roll around exactly?
I don't know if you've been noticing, but 2022, the end of 22, started 2023. Our industry has faced some. I wouldn't say uphill battles, but a lot of change, a lot of mergers, acquisitions, shutdowns.
For the record, I would say uphill battles.
Yeah. But Great Lakes is, we're not after world domination. We're just slow, steady growth.
For the record, I would like to say world domination.
Yeah. Brewed for you, Ontario, as a wise man once said. Okay, very cool. Oh, look at that. So. I need a chorus person on one of these mics here. So here we're gonna do production. I don't care who it is. Like I'll take a Greg Brady. I see him in the corner of my eyes. Hey Fabian, do you want the job or Troy? Do you want the job? All you got to do is send over.
You know what? I've been on the show a couple times. I think Fabian, he's got the glasses on now. I'm gonna sign off for now. Then. We're gonna get Fabian on here, and I'll go get someone. From
I don't
640.
care. I see FOTM Rachel Brady is here. I saw Kelly Cutrara. You just grab somebody. I need a 640 person. On
you know
this,
what? We sponsored today in Toronto podcast, so I'm gonna go find Dani.
Can I ask you about that? So, how many podcasts do you sponsor right now, Great Lakes Brewery?
First and foremost, the Toronto mic'd. How many years has it been? 7 years or something like that.
People think of Toronto Mike, they think of Great Lakes Brewery and vice versa.
As they should. It's, one thing they always say, right? Like, make your advertising consistent and repetitive, and that's one thing we've done with you.
Every time I have Palma pasta, I think about Great Lakes.
There you go.
There actually is
and every
joke.
time
That
I think
is a synergy there.
Well, every time I think of killing you, I think of the funeral home in Etobicoke.
Ridley Funeral Home. Shout out to Brad Jones.
And Palma pasta.
Yeah, there you go.
Great wake food, by the way.
But you sponsor Today in TO.
Well, this is the thing. When we're looking for synergies and we're looking for, there's the word synergies. But when we're looking to do a partnership with someone, we're looking for something fresh, something new, something exciting, and really bought into that with Today in Toronto. as Fabian joins to my answer. But we like to pride ourselves on being local, supporting local initiatives of local business, and this is a fresh news show, and we offer fresh craft beer. They're our neighbors. We believe in a smarter Toronto as well. So it just made sense that we sign on for this as the first big sponsor.
Well, bigger than Toronto Mike. Okay,
well, come on, they gotta,
What, they got a headquarters? Okay, so you got to get somebody. I see this circle here. I feel like I'm witnessing some kind of a cult meeting or something, but I need a body here.
All right, I'm signing off. I'll
Troy
check in
Burtch,
later.
everybody. FOTM Troy Burtch. Fabian, while I wait for a 640 person, what kind of music do you listen to, like, in your spare time? You want to hear some jams?
I like straight up
Right on
rock
the
and
mic.
roll, like for sure.
Like Bob Seger? What's straight up rock and roll?
No, I think more like late 60s, early 70s Stones, and that always gets me going.
Never heard of them.
Oh, the Rolling Stones. Sorry,
That's
I
an
didn't
obscure.
specify.
I didn't know you were going to drop an obscure indie band on me. Okay, Fabian? The Rolling Stones.
No, but I like the old I like mostly the sound. You know, it's more like the quality of the recording.
No, drop a couple more band names on me, though. Humor me. So the Stones.
Never liked Wilco until I saw them live, and
Dave Hodge would be so devastated if he heard that.
I just fell in love with them, and and then there's all kinds of bands now that, like, we're on a path of discovery now that doesn't follow a like a regular thing. Because we're looking at the internet all the time now, and we all got our own niches, and
No, Fabian, couldn't have said it better myself. Oh my God, listen, you can hang out here, but if you do leave, you got to tag somebody in, because I'll need somebody sitting right where you are. But
I'm about to.
An FOTM to show up. I'm curious if this FOTM has any thoughts on the fact that Nick Nurse is probably gone at the end of this year.
I don't know if I believe that or not. I think he's still going to stay in. I've heard that. I've heard the talk. I've read the articles. I don't know.
Because Fabian, the FOTM Alan Carter has been mistaken for Nick Nurse on more than one occasion.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
yeah. Once I actually, when I met Nick Nurse, I said to him, my family tells me that you and I look a lot alike.
Right.
And he stopped, and he looked me up and down from foot to head, and just turned on his heel and walked away without saying a word.
Because he was offended.
I don't know. He was either mortified, or he thought to himself, well, clearly I'm not in this man's ballpark to
No, I love the idea that, like, Nick Nurse is, like, offended. How dare you say I look like Alan Carter
this
of
guy?
Global.
God,
That's funny.
worst.
So, Fabian, here's what we're going to do. I'm producing my own show here, but I'm going to chat up Alan for a bit here. But you got to get me...
I'm already looking. I'm already scouting for you.
Just don't walk away with the headphones on, but you're going to go grab me a warm body who's going to sit beside Alan and be my co-host while I chat up, while I catch up with FOTM Alan Carter. How did your life change, Alan, when you made your Toronto Mike debut? Like, that's basically the rebirth, right? That was like the beginning of your imperial period.
Yeah, I think I got a lasagna out of it. So,
how was the lasagna?
Well, that's how my life changed. Is
you became a Palma pasta.
The lasagna changed my life.
Seriously, how you doing? It's good to see you here.
It's good to see you too.
So remind us again. I know all these answers, but where can we see you? Where do we hear you? Where's Alan Carter in our media zeitgeist?
All right, you can see me Monday to Friday on Global News, 5:30 and 6. And also on the weekend at Saturday at 5:30, and then again Sunday at 11:30 a.m. on Focus Ontario, which is for
they work you hard over there.
The nerds, all you political nerds out there. I see you. This is for the wonks in the crowd, and for the people who just love Ontario politics. Join me for Focus.
That's awesome here. Okay, and how'd you get an invite to this party? And who's this guy? I don't see a lot of bow ties. Yeah, throw those on and we'll just find out who. All right.
Hello.
Where did you get that bow tie? Alan, you don't go anywhere. I'm not done with you yet. But what is that? What's your name, sir?
My name is Corey Manuel. I'm a technical producer for 640 Toronto.
Who do you work with? What are the on-air personalities that you work with there?
John Oakley, mostly. I'm on the Oakley show.
Why won't he come on my show? Give me straight. John Oakley won't come on my show. And then I talked to Amanda Capito. Will he be at this event I'm going to be recording at? No. I was told no.
No.
What's
as far
going
as I
on
know,
with this
he's
guy?
on vacation this week.
Oh, yeah, permanent vacation. Okay, I'm not trying to cause a beef of Oakley, but enough is enough. The great Alan Carter came over, and he had a great time. Isn't
I
that
know.
true?
I just watched him at 6.
Oh, that's great. Good to see you again. Nice to talk with you. I'm no longer on the air on 640 with my own radio show, but I do pop on other people's shows and have worked with a lot of the people who are here tonight. So it's great to see a lot of people again.
Who are your favorite people here tonight?
Well, you.
That's because you want another lasagna. I'm on to your trick. Weren't you supposed to come back and kick out the jams with me, or is that a acid dream I had?
Well, it's probably all of the above.
Seriously, this guy, one of the unplugged gems. No, he's been plucked, but he's one of the most underrated Toronto media superstars, Alan Carter. In my humble opinion. Who do you work with? Like, who works alongside you at the Global News?
At the Global News? Well,
At the Global
I'm
News.
right now. I'm a bit of a solo act. I'm a bit of a Han Solo, you might say.
Well, that's a current reference.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's good. So this gentleman in the bow tie, again, Corey, right?
Yes.
So you, John Oakley, any other shows?
I was previously with Alex Pierson for 3.5 years.
She's been over, okay? Alex has been in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's
I
not
know.
afraid of
Sounds
me.
super creepy. You know
Sounds-
that.
I know.
You know when you say that sounds creepy. Like, I mean, seriously.
Alex
it
Pierson,
puts
come to
on
my
the
basement.
lotion,
Alan Carter,
you know?
come to my basement. I'll give you some lasagna and some beer.
I swear, if you've got like a Depeche Mode album for her, or some Pixies, or some Roxy music, she'll go.
She's more like Hamilton punk.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
a
she's little
Hamilton
teenage
punker.
head, teenage
Okay.
head, yeah.
So, okay, now I'm just checking you out now, meeting you for the first time, Corey.
Corey, he's checking you out.
Checking
just
you
so we're
out. You can't be older
clear.
than 17 years old. Am I right? Alan, what would you say? I know
Corey's
you
actually 57.
Yes, back in my day,
Yeah.
we didn't have
He's,
any of this.
he's the Benjamin Button.
That's what
of,
Alex calls me.
Of
For
Corey.
3.5 years, that's what Alex Pierson
I'm
called
sorry.
me.
I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
I'm
Is that gonna-
actually 27.
PTSD?
Is that right?
I'm actually 27.
Show me your driver's license.
Now, respect the young gentleman.
Oh, I don't work for Corey, so I can say
Corey,
these things.
do you get ID'd quite a bit at
Hold
the
on, I am
liquor
checking
store?
his ID.
I don't drink, so I don't need to worry about it.
Okay, all right. So
Okay.
then when you go into the cannabis stores, do they ID you
Wow,
there?
27 years old.
I once got carded to buy gas for a car.
Wow.
Guy thought I was too young to drive.
Well, that's
I think that's
fantastic.
encroaching. Like that's not your job.
See, that is a beautiful thing. That is something that you're going to dine out on for the rest of your life.
It's the Newfie blood. That's what it is.
Yeah.
When you see Oakley next, you're going to tell him to get his ass
Wow,
on
you
Toronto
really-
Lane.
man,
Yeah,
you
bet.
have.
that's right.
Can I swear on this
Yeah,
thing?
of course
You
you
got to
can.
burr up your ass.
Can I swear on this? As if I haven't heard you swear on 640 before.
Well, that's true.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
get reprimanded?
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
So what is
That's
like?
that's what I have the dump button for.
Oh, but you dump it or does it make it to air?
It depends on the situation.
It depends. Yeah.
Sometimes it's warranted.
I like, I don't know. Do you have a favorite non-swear swear? I have a whole.
Fiddlesticks.
You like fiddlesticks?
I don't know.
I like to go with Mother of Pearl.
That's good.
I also sometimes like Jeremy Roenick.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. I'm gonna adopt that because I do drop too many swears. Too many swears. So okay, Corey, good to meet you. Hey Dan, do you want to pop on for a minute? Get over here. It's been a long time.
All right. Well, I'm
Okay,
gonna.
but if you leave,
Yes.
you gotta tag in another on-air personality.
This
okay?
is it's
Well,
like
no
a Ponzi.
pressure.
It's like a Ponzi scheme
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. This is
I have to
Wally.
recruit other people to get my money back. That's
Correct.
how this works.
And I'm really interested in an Alex Pierson or a Greg Brady or a Kelly Cutrara. No pressure. Go deliver.
What do you?
And by the way, before I leave here today, I hope I get a selfie with you because you're one of my favorite FOTMs. You're great.
What?
Wow.
You're
Well,
way better than Dan Speerin.
Can I be? Is there like something higher
Not a high
than like
bar.
one of the favorite? It's like an order of Canada. Like you start off with like like you're a soldier of the Order
right.
of Canada, and then you're like a
And
doofus of the Order of Canada. Like, I want to move up the rank.
if
I want to
Nick
be like,
Nurse leaves town, which I think he will,
okay.
you should coach the Raptors. No one will know the difference. Right? Just slip right in. It's not like he's, yes, we have a title from 2019. We won't forget that, but the rest is pretty,
the ring looks good on him. All right.
Alan Carter, everybody.
out.
Here's the
I'm
crowd.
out.
The crowd. All right.
Thank
you. Get me a Cutrara. Come on.
Do you want me to scout?
Dan, what are you doing here? How'd you get an invite?
I snuck in the back door.
Is this your lady friend?
No, this is my co-host of a new show on 640 that we're doing.
Well, tell me, because you're an FOTM, but it's been a long time since we've seen each other. What's going on with you in 640?
So we're doing a weekend show about the intersection of technology, arts, and the city. So the tagline, are you ready for it? It's
I'm ready.
Toronto tomorrow.
Toronto tomorrow,
And it's-
as opposed to Toronto today.
Correct. There's a lot. I feel like we're going back to the early 80s and we're just going like full Tom Snyder.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did this come to be, though? Like, did you... I just need a little origin story.
Yeah,
like, how does
sure.
Dan
So-
end up on 640?
Yeah, I know.
Because you're not a mainstream media guy. Like, part of my respect for you is you're like...
I know.
You're a digital warrior.
Just selling
And
out all over the
You really
place.
did sell it. You're at a Chorus radio AM radio station. Like, I've lost so much respect for you.
How did you get in here?
I'm a Great Lakes Brewery advocate. That's how I got in here. But no, please tell your story, and then I'll belittle you further.
Sure, yeah. So the last time we chatted, I was all about trying to figure out the digital divide in this city and, repping the YouTubers and all of those folks. Well, I'm still doing that, but I'm doing it at the Toronto Metropolitan University. And so we have an incubator called the Transmedia Zone where we try to basically take the next wave of Canadian entertainment and help them grow. And so guess what I did? I said, this needs a show. This needs a conversation piece. And so we partnered with 640, and on Saturdays at 8 now, we're doing a show for them.
8 a.m. or 8 p.m.?
PM, friend. I don't wake up. I do not wake up before noon. I'm
As
still in the arts.
if you'd be live. Come on. Okay, so this is firstly, congratulations. I had no idea. Like, I actually don't have a clue who's going to wander through this building here. But when I saw you walk by here, and I think on the air I was talking. Who was I talking to? Can't remember now. Anthony Farnell or something. And I said, "Oh, there's FOTM Dan Speerin." And I didn't realize. I thought you were just like living in the hood or something.
No.
Like maybe you lived in these condos or something.
I was coming to see you. It's like the Today Show window here.
Yeah. Okay, so you got a podcast that's airing on 640 on
It's
weekends.
a full-on radio show, friend.
Does your there's another mic. You're the co-host or the producer?
This
What's
is
her title?
She's producing and eating at the same time
What's her
right
name?
now. Jessie Lee.
Jessie Lee. So she's a producer?
Yeah,
Or
she's
she
our
co-host?
producer. We bring her on air. Like, we like to bring our producers
You don't
on
want to
air.
talk?
She's
always eating.
We came
What's
right
going on
from
here?
work. We're letting her have
So what's
a bite
work?
to eat.
Like this camp, this is a side hustle. You came from TMU?
Yeah, we came right from TMU.
Oh, wow.
So there's a thing called the Creative Innovation Studio, Creative Schools
Wow.
Innovation Studio. And it's a bunch of different amazing startups in the city trying to make Toronto a better place. And we look over it every day in our day jobs.
Okay, amazing. I'm not ignoring you. I'm actually just trying to get somebody in the empty chair. But tell me what else you've been up to. Just tell me, Dan, what else you've been up to.
Let's start a trap. We can just put some alcohol down and see who comes and sits down.
There's no shortage of alcohol in here. That's for sure.
This is the guests are going to get much better as this goes.
Pina!
Well, we're looking.
Hold on, because Pina, who...
Here we go.
The funny thing is, so ready for this, Dan?
Yeah.
Last time I did this was at the party for Marty, okay?
Okay.
And it's like getting people to sit in the empty chairs was killing me.
Yeah.
Somebody stepped up, okay? Yeah, you're not as tall as that last guest. Okay, so somebody stepped
tilt
up and
the
became a
Alan Carter mic
wrangler
down.
of sorts and was like getting people on the mic. Like, she saved my life. Pina Crispo.
What's up, Toronto Mike?
Is it because I was on your show? Like, you're the parenting show?
Yeah, you have to come back on.
Well, you have to invite me.
Well, the parenting show every Sunday
Was I supposed to do
night.
that too?
Every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 640 Toronto.
Because you helped me
Yeah.
at the party for Marty.
Oh, you think you're good? Did you just volunteer
Could you
to?
it's really difficult. Like, I find it difficult because I'm trying to have a conversation. I don't want to edit this. Like, I just don't want to. Like, I want it to be live flow. But then there's an empty chair. Like, what do I do? Like, I'm Pina. Like, I don't want to ruin your night, but like, I need like.
But you want to ruin my night.
Yeah.
So talk to me. I mean, You were amazing when you were at the party for Marty. We talked to you. Then you had your own episode. You came over. But you're like a breath of fresh air. When I saw you, I had warm fuzzies.
When I gave you the finger from across the room?
I don't know. I kind of dig that. Like, I dig it. But tell us, like, what you've been up to other than the parenting show.
Well, being a parent, you know,
how many kids?
That's a big one for me. 3. 11, 9, 7. So doing that.
11, 9, 7.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a 9 and a 7.
That's crazy.
My 11
and
is 21 and 18.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Your kids are
but
older.
No, I can relate to the 9 and 7, okay?
Yeah. So being a mom, teaching at Humber College.
Right.
Doing the show, being a content creator.
Wow.
Being a voice actor.
Creating okay, anything interesting in the voice acting world?
Well, I can tell you that I did audition for the McDonald's Chicken Big Mac.
And they gave it to Dani Elwell.
And she gets everything. And I never got it, so there's the big news.
Okay, good for you for auditioning for that. Okay, I auditioned for it as well. Dan, did you audition for that McDonald's spot?
Not that one. It's the other ones.
Oh, okay.
When they bring back the McRib again, I'm so there.
So, Pina, who are you here with today?
I'm
like by
flying solo.
And you came like from home?
I came from home.
And where's home? I don't need an address, but like what neighborhood?
I'm not telling you.
There's food here, eh?
There is
That's
food.
what sucks about doing this recording.
Yeah, let's change the topic. We're not saying.
Okay,
you won't give good.
You won't give a neighborhood?
No.
Like what about like are you east of Yonge or west of Yonge?
I'm in the GTA.
Oh my god. She's in Brampton, right?
No, I'm not.
Is that code?
No, I'm not.
Ajax.
I did live there for 2 years.
Brady
The first
came
2
from
years of my
Ajax.
life.
Okay, so you don't live in Toronto.
No.
That's no shame. You seem like it's gonna ruin your cred.
It will.
That you don't live in Toronto.
Can we start a jar here for where you live and give a prize at the end of the night? If
She's
anyone gets
Pickering, I'm guessing. What do you think?
No.
What's your
I
guess?
think it's Oakville.
It's not West End. It's not West
look
End.
at this.
It's not West End.
It's not East End either.
It's up Vaughan.
Don't say Barrie.
The city above Toronto. The city of Vaughan.
I don't know.
Wow,
maybe.
that's solid. You've got a voiceover.
Mike, what have you been up to? That's what I want to know.
I produce
let's
podcasts.
turn the tables right now.
I produce podcasts, and I have my own podcast. This Malkin character.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Luke Malkin.
Would he come on when I boot Speerin? Would Patrick Malkin come on?
We can do a swap.
Okay, you can come back. I just got to get more voices on because I don't want to spend all night here.
Let's get
But
Patrick
Dan,
Malkin.
did you say 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock on Saturdays,
Yep.
and the name of it is Toronto Tomorrow.
You're gonna take these headphones, my friend. Here you
Okay.
are. Here's a switch off. We're gonna do a
All
nice
right, Dan,
little
honestly,
NASCAR style.
I hope later I get a picture of you, but it was amazing to see you again. He's a great FOTM. You don't know what that means. That's friend of Toronto Mike. Okay. Pina's also a great FOTM.
Yes.
I'm just collecting. Okay, so
Can I get a badge that says that, Mike?
Pina, introduce me to this gentleman.
All right,
Pina.
Hey, this is Patrick Malkin. Patrick Malkin is one of the amazing people at 640 Toronto as he laughs.
You lie.
Is that true?
No.
No, he is. I've known him for so long.
It's a lie. She's lying,
Okay,
Michael.
he's a bit of a jerk.
Nice
at
to meet you,
times,
by the way,
but-
Oh,
Mike.
yeah, nice to meet you.
No,
what's your title at Chorus there?
I am the current operations manager for 640 Toronto.
You mangled that, actually. So, like, what on-air personalities do you work with?
Right now, I don't work with anybody. I'm behind the scenes. I used to be a technical producer for many, many years.
Because I know you as a guy that Mike Stafford might speak to during his
correct.
his
Yes, I
episodes.
was Michael's.
Patrick.
I was Michael's technical producer for 7 years or so.
Okay, so Mike Stafford
Yes.
has been to my house twice.
Yes.
And I actually felt both went very well. Like he seemed to have we had a lot of mutual respect. It was a great time. But then I was listening to Mike Stafford's show on 640, and he called me a turd in his basement. Okay? And it was right after Lou Skeesis came over, and I didn't talk about Stafford to Lou at all. This is all real talk. I don't work for Chorus. I can just tell like it is. But I said to Lou, have you heard from Mike since you were let go? Because they cut the ties of Lou Skeesis.
Yep.
And Lou said, no. And then I moved on. Never talked about Stafford again. And that was enough for who I thought was a friend, by
To
the way.
call you a turd.
Because we used to exchange emails all the time. He listened. We'd have, I thought we were buddies. And he called me a turd in his basement
Oh, that's
on the air at AM 640.
so sweet. I feel
Patrick, what
the
do you say
love.
about that? Was that your idea, sir?
It was not my idea, and I believe there is no existing tape of this event.
So I'm afraid it might be a your word against his type of situation.
Well, I'm not suing or anything. Actually, I'm kind of like proud of it. It's fine. But
well,
yeah,
right. I mean, you got noticed.
Well,
right?
it's exciting, even though it would have been better if he said that Toronto Mike is a turd in his basement.
Oh,
yes, you're right.
that would have been
Toronto
better,
Mike.
yes.
But, I mean,
I knew who he was talking about, but you don't know if you're listening.
I think that's certainly better than having, Casey Kasem play my request.
Did that happen?
No, he never played my request.
Oh, I thought I was going to hear the story of how once I sent in a song request to Casey Kasem about my dead dog or something.
That would be really cool if you did request a song to Casey Kasem and he played it.
Of course,
especially
it would be cool.
now that he's dead.
Yeah, well,
oh my gosh! Right now,
but then,
yes.
then it would just be really neat.
Okay, so. Patrick,
Yes.
how do you know Pina? Like, just because she does the parenting show, or does it go way back?
No,
we go way back.
Pina and I go back to our Q107 days.
What did you do at Q107?
I was the street reporter and promotions assistant. I was Pina
I only
Lola
know you from
Brigida there.
CFNY.
She used to drive the street machine, the Q107 street
The
machine.
Valvoline.
The Valvoline
street machine.
And this is going back almost 20 years, actually.
Oh my gosh, Patrick.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Pina's like 25 years old.
I know.
Yeah,
I started when I was
she was
5.
very young. She was granted a special child's license to drive the car.
And I'm looking at her nose, okay? So you have a
What's
little...
wrong with my nose?
No, you have a stud.
Almost
Oh
everything.
yes, I have a diamond
So when did you
nose
get...
ring.
You've always had that, right? Like, how long have you had that?
I've probably had it for about 4... I want to say maybe 4-ish years.
Oh, that's it. Did you have it when you came in my basement? Phrasing, Michael. Phrasing, Michael.
I can't remember. We have to go back and look at the picture.
I don't think so. Like, I think I would have taken note.
Maybe
that
it was
Pina,
after.
I think it was. I think I inspired you to get it.
Maybe you did.
Well, yeah, she followed yours that you've since removed.
And Patrick, when did you get your nose stud? a stud for a stud. Okay. So I know this name because people like to feed me like Toronto radio stuff. Okay,
right.
So I've been hearing about this Patrick Malkin for a long time.
Real?
Yeah,
what
for
have you
real.
heard? I want
Probably.
to know what you've heard about Patrick Malkin. I want to know. Did someone say, "Oh my God, that Patrick
That
Malkin?
dick?
He is like a
Do you want the
skinny
truth?
Louis
Like, do you-
Capaldi."
I don't want to make him. I don't want to make him uncomfortable because I just met him and he seems like a really nice guy. Like,
Seems is the operative word.
But I have heard back in the day when Stafford was on the air, I would hear stories about Patrick. Maybe I don't even want to continue.
Just say it.
but
No, say it. Come on, I want
she's
to
a bad
hear. I want to
influence.
hear.
She's like the devil on my shoulder here. But no, I'm trying. I'm not gonna tell stories out of school at this point in this recording, which I'm not gonna edit. But all I've heard are good things about Patrick.
Oh, that's
like
good
no
to
bad
know.
things.
No, there's
There's
not
a few bad.
No, Patrick.
There have to be a few bad.
See, Patrick
Because
has
otherwise I
sometimes
would
rarely
have-
disclosed.
All right,
I would
so
have
sometimes
no
he's an
good.
asshole, but it's fine.
There would be no good to judge if there was no bad. To
How
hold it
long
up
have you
against.
worked at Chorus, Patrick?
On and off since 2003.
It's a long time. That's
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
See the
Yeah.
math?
So good.
I don't think there's any brain damage here.
I was there for 6 years. I left for about a year and came back.
Okay. And when in your 20-year career, who are the on-air personalities you worked closely with prior to this current role?
Most closely would probably be Andy Frost.
Andy Frost. Who's this stranger?
At
Okay.
Q107.
Sorry, this guy spent 2 hours in my basement today, okay? But I'm going to get him on in a minute here. But okay. Andy Frost.
That's good, man.
Yeah, Ed Keenan. Hello,
Yeah,
everybody.
he's a good man. I worked with Andy. I used to produce the old overnight show at Q107 in the mid-2000s and then started doing Psychedelic Sunday.
Yeah. Okay, so Andy's an FOTM. He's been in the
Yeah.
basement.
Yeah.
But since Psychedelic Sunday ended,
Yes.
he's gone like cold, dark, unless it's about his son's hockey career or something, and you see him on Hockey Night Canada.
Did you see that? I don't know. It's from like 3 months ago. Morgan scored a hell of a goal. He's behind the goal
he's
line.
amazing. It's amazing.
He's got a bright
It's amazing.
future.
Love Andy.
Our kids aren't going to play in the NHL, right?
No,
Pina?
definitely not. It's not happening.
My kid's a
It's
pretty
not.
good house leaguer, but it's house league, and he's only just
My
turned
little
9.
Marcus is baseball.
Okay.
Is baseball. So there's no.
Does he have
There's
the-
no.
the
Nobody's
both, though?
perfect, Pete.
But Andy Frost, let's give him some props here. That boy is a hell of a player, Morgan
Oh
Frost.
yeah, he is. So I worked with him,
Wow.
and then I filled in on a bunch of other shifts. Kim Mitchell.
Okay, another FOTM. I
yeah.
have to shout these out. Love Kim Mitchell.
The morning show I worked on.
What morning show?
The Derringer Show.
Okay. Can I ask questions about that?
You can.
Okay.
But I haven't worked that show in
But did you witness any of these incidents with Jennifer Valentine?
No.
Okay, you did not
I
witness
did not.
anything. Okay, that's a safe answer. I have to ask. Okay. I've never met Derringer.
Full disclosure. Disclosure.
Yeah, you better disclose everything.
I did work a week of that show with Jen. John was off on vacation, so
I'm glad you disclosed that, Pina. Like, this tells you you're dealing with a man with nothing to hide. He discloses everything.
Nothing.
Okay, and you love what you do.
Yeah.
He hesitated.
Well, no,
love what you do.
because for a second there, I was back in my technical producer role.
Right.
Because we're going down memory lane. So then when I left, I came back to 640, and I got pretty much stapled to Michael.
And you know what? So again, he hasn't been on the show in a long time. I'm going to talk to Greg Brady soon. But I'm just checking out. I'm doing multitasking. Pina, this will be your job soon.
Trying to scope the next guest.
He's trying to get me to wrangle people. That's
No, he's just trying to get rid of you.
Because you've done it before.
You want me to get Chris? Did you get Chris?
Who's Chris?
Chris Creston?
Yeah.
I just want as many voices as possible before I wrap up and bike
I'm
home.
doing a story. You're going to work and do your thing, which is a podcast,
But
and we're going
Pina,
to do a story right now. So we're doing a story right now in the middle of Toronto Mike's podcast.
You've done this before. At the party for Marty at the Opera House, you wrangled guests for me.
And now you want me to go wrangle people.
There's a reason we're here together tonight. This is so you can do it again.
So you can work for Mike again.
I wanted to say on the record,
yes,
I still have admiration for Michael Stafford. Like, I send him notes once in a while. We have a mutual friend who contacts me about ideas, and I pitch him ideas of things we can do. So I just want to put that out there that I'm sorry what happened to Michael Stafford, and I wish him like nothing but like the absolute best.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, we agree on that.
Right?
Okay, good.
And I'm looking for people.
Okay, so Pina.
Yeah.
Even if it's Ed Keenan for 2 minutes, but I would like some fresh blood too, only because I spent 2 hours. I spent 2 hours with Keenan earlier today.
Fresh blood.
Well, yeah. So
he's like, Pina, get the hell out of here.
Well, Patrick's fresh
Give me
meat.
some real people, Pete.
He's busy flaying me alive.
Do you want CVA?
Who's that? Who's that?
CVA is Chris Van Allen, and he's been on the sales team forever. You know, salespeople are so much fun.
Yeah, my favorite salesperson just retired. Cliff Cohen.
Oh my God. Okay,
yes.
So do you want a story right now?
Yeah.
I just gave her the news.
Love Cliff Cohen.
Yeah,
love
me too.
him, right?
I even have a remix about him from Hal Harbor. Andy, it's Cliff. You should go search it. I put it on my YouTube channel yesterday.
So I got to listen
Andy,
to this.
It's Cliff.
So I walk in tonight, and Patrick says to me, he's like, he goes, oh, there's CVA, right? So I look over and I see CVA from behind, but for some reason in my head, it was Cliff Cohen. Yeah. And then right away, Patrick says, have you heard about Cliff? And
we have to catch up.
So Patrick says, have you heard about Cliff? And I'm like, what about? And he does that little like thing with his neck. And so I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm like,
see, Mike gets it.
No, I was like, I'm like,
but
I almost started crying because I thought he was trying to tell me that he died.
Oh my God.
She thought I meant
he hanged himself?
No, oh my God. Oh my God. But anyways, he's alive and well, and I love him too, and he's got the best stories.
There's
CVA
mint
right now.
Cliff's mint.
Is this kind of you?
Yeah.
So Mike's talking to Kelly right now.
I'm talking to Kelly Cutrara.
So you guys
because
just know what's
Patrick and
happening.
Kelly are going to switch spots.
And I'm
awesome.
going to
get
someone.
I've been gonged.
Do you want?
Patrick, you're now an FOTM, okay?
Oh, I appreciate that.
You're already an FOTM, Kelly Cutrara. I'm going to talk to Kelly Cutrara here.
I think he did.
Okay. Oh, there's an announcement.
But I am recording.
We have to pause.
I don't want to pause. Can we just talk quietly? Okay. Kelly, you're going to take Patrick's seat there. We're going to just talk like this. Okay.
Thank you, Great Lakes Brewery.
Don't they know who I am?
I know. They're interrupting your podcast.
This is a live recording. I can't edit this.
Well, you're going to have to.
So this is Amanda Capito. I'll do play-by-play.
She is absolutely amazing.
She's an FOTM.
Who?
She's been on.
Amanda?
Oh,
yeah. She's been on the show.
I love her.
Okay, she's shouting out people. Hold on.
She's shouting out hosts.
She going to shout me out? No John Oakley. What a shock.
He's on vacation. He'll be back Monday.
Greg Brady, right over here.
Greg Brady is here.
So Greg Brady is here, everybody.
Alex Pierson is
so
here.
she's not saying FOTM. She's supposed to call them FOTM Alex Pierson. We talked about this. Oh, Kelly
We'll
Cutrara
fix
is
that
here.
in post,
Kelly
Mike.
and I go way back. I can't wait to talk to her. Dani Stover, who I'm going to have to talk
Way
to
back,
before I wrap
like
this
90
up.
minutes way back?
No. Humble and Fred way back. We go way back. Yeah, there's a history here.
Yeah, right.
There's a
for
history
sure,
here.
Yes,
She
correct.
defended me against the fearless one, who's very fearful. Okay, Dani Stover's talking, everybody. She's excited about her new podcast. Correct. Today in TL. Let's watch. I feel like I'm commentating a golf tournament. She's been over a couple of times.
She's a friend of Toronto Mike.
She's an FOTM, but Kelly's only been over once.
I've only.
Can we just call them Fottoms
Am I
for
allowed
short?
to touch you?
No. Can we just call them Fottoms for short?
You can. Hold on. Kelly's asking me to touch her. Is Kelly here solo? Yeah. Sorry.
Solo, we can't hear him.
Okay. I'll have to call an audible. I
good-
might have to.
This is a
Should
pretty
I-
good turnout, I have to
should
say.
Yeah, because they heard that Pina's going to be here. They said, I want to see this Pina. in it."
Actually, I
That's
had a couple
exactly what it
people.
was.
A couple of people reached out to me and said, "Will Pina be there?" I said, "Yes," and they said, "Okay, then
I'm not
I
going.
can't make it."
Oh.
Any relation to
Their loss. Their
Gino
loss.
Malkin from the Pittsburgh Penguins?
None.
But people ask you that all the
But
time, right?
all the time.
It must
yeah.
get annoying.
No, you know what? It doesn't.
No. Okay, I'm trying to be respectful because there's speeches going on here. So, who's talking right now,
I
Pina?
have no idea who this is.
You don't recognize that voice?
No, who has a microphone?
Oh, is this like a video?
Oh, we're listening to this is the trailer.
I don't want to hear the trailer.
This is the trailer
bullshit.
for Today in Toronto.
Okay, well they're sponsored by Great Lakes, so I have like a
Correct.
rivalry. I feel like.
Have you had a sip of the Breaking Brews?
Oh yeah.
Patrick, hey, get out. Mike,
Yes.
Mike wants Kelly to sit in your seat.
Well,
get
duh.
out.
Patrick,
and I'm gonna
it's been
go
it's
wrangle.
been an absolute
She
pleasure.
won't get up. Get up and get over here.
Okay, you two
Chair.
are switching. I'm calling the
You're
shots
coming
over
in.
here. We're gonna stop. So there's a trailer playing. I got shushed a little bit here. I'm trying to be
kidding.
respectful.
Bye, Kelly. You're
Okay,
up.
so the headphones have come off Patrick's head.
But Kelly's still not in front of a mic. Oh, there you go. That's good. Is it rolling?
I'm always recording, but I'm trying to they're doing a trailer, I guess, for the Dani Stover podcast. Kelly, we'll talk quietly for a moment here. How the fuck are you doing?
I am
Is this ASMR? Because it's working for
That's why I
me.
said I'm going to unwrap a chocolate bar right now.
You have a good voice. You should do voiceover work.
You think so?
Yeah, like at CBC, like Olympics and stuff.
Okay.
If you can consider it a
Happier
competition.
people talk to their people. Maybe dreams were.
You know, Pina's got a good voice too, though.
Oh, thanks.
What are you doing? Comparing our voices right now?
Can you guys have a duo, just battle each other with voiceover?
Duo, what do you think this? Are you going to pay us?
How much is it going to cost me?
A lot of money.
He's always working the angles for the cash.
How much is you going to pay me? Well, hold on.
Listen, we work in radio.
Okay.
Any extra
As
income?
soon as they finish, we're going to talk normal here. Kelly Cutrara. Take out your phone. I can't do that. No. Oh, please. It's Toronto Mike, everybody. Subscribe to Toronto Mike. Come on. Come on. Fiercely independent over here. I can't believe Kelly Cutrara is about to be on Toronto Mike. It's been so long.
I know it has been.
I think it's been
10 years. No.
well, maybe 9. Was it
Oh my
24
gosh, that's long.
Was it 2014?
I think you look the same. Do I look the same?
You look
or
younger.
Oh,
You look younger and thinner. Have you been
thinner.
working out? Do you do crunches?
I do.
Can I feel your abs?
I do yoga. No, you can feel my biceps though.
Oh, now I'm jealous.
Those are some pipes.
It's good.
Did you got a license for those guns?
Like,
So Amanda Capito's still addressing this crowd, and I realize for the listenership, this is fucking boring.
What,
but
are you
I'm trying to be
going to
respectful.
keep this going through
Yeah.
the listeners?
Yeah, like right now, they can hear you. Okay, Troy.
It's not live.
Yeah.
You never do
How
it.
do you know it's not live?
Oh,
What do you know about it?
you got a live going on? Oh, who's this guy now?
Kelly.
He's a beer guy.
I have to talk to you. Troy is a Great Lakes guy. He was just on Toronto Mike.
Okay. Looks like a nice.
He's like their marketing guy. Stop staring at his butt, Kelly. That's food.
I'm looking at the pink thing in the back pocket.
I know. You're going to pick his pocket.
Nephew, cousin,
Okay.
Jeff Muzzin?
Oh,
Is he around?
Jake Muzzin? Is he here? Is that Jake Muzzin? Oh, it's the wrong. It's a Jeff Muzzin. Okay, so what happened here? Is he a listener? Kelly, can you
Hey,
can you name check some of the people in this room that maybe
Anthony Farnell, who's a weatherman.
he was my first guest today.
Was he?
Yeah. Who else is in this room?
We're one of Canada's oldest
Ed Keenan.
Ed Keenan was in my basement for 2 hours today. No joke. And that sounds dirty, but it's not.
Almost 1 year ago, May 17th.
Ed gave me a look.
Employees, supporters for keeping us in business. So,
Okay, the Great Lakes are talking.
keep coming back, keep having your meetings. Tell your friends. And when you come here for lunch, please, for the love of God, have 2 beers.
Yeah.
No water.
Great
Thanks
Lakes
very much.
Brewpub,
We're going to Atlantic Walk,
publicity.
And yeah, the bar is open.
Okay.
Yeah, pay
Oh,
So she's- did-
well,
did
that
you
say-
would have been
catch.
a moment.
Did you say it's an open bar?
Yeah, by accident, on purpose.
Okay, everybody.
All right,
Okay.
I am going to find you someone, some
Okay,
fresh
amazing.
blood.
What do you
And
mean find him someone? He's already got someone.
Okay, you prepare,
What the
Kelly.
hell?
Yeah, give me a backup in case it goes south of Cutrara. 'cause
What
I
are
never
we
know.
talking?
All
So-
right, I'm out.
Okay,
Thanks,
Pina,
Toronto
honestly,
Mike.
can I kiss you? Mwah.
Mwah, love you.
You're a great FOTM. Now give me some, give me some like
She's a hot mama.
a Brady. At some point, I
A
do have
Brady.
to talk to a Stover, a Pierson.
Wait a minute. Am I not
But
good
now I'm
enough?
talking to
I'm
Cutrara.
leaving in a minute. I'm going back to my trailer. He's looking for somebody else. This is so
No,
unbelievably
Kelly,
rude.
do you remember your recording for episode 1000 of Toronto Mic'd?
Why do you have it handy?
No, but many people. Is this mine or yours?
That's yours.
Okay. Many people
Not
have told me that your recording for episode 1000 is their favorite.
Is
Do you
that the
remember
Humble and
you
Fred
phoned?
one?
No, you phoned me
Yeah.
and you didn't tell me you were recording.
Oh yeah, that was
You
the
remember
best.
this?
I do remember
You forgot
that.
about
That was
you,
so
you,
much
You don't
fun.
think about me at all, do you?
No, I can't remember much. I look great and I'm skinny, but I can't remember anything for a damn
And you got
what.
big pipes. How much do you lift?
Me? I lift my body weight, which is about 110.
Look at you.
And because
Okay.
I do yoga.
Okay, so
I can
your
plank.
your contribution to episode 1000,
Yes.
Robbie J just walked by, everybody,
Yeah.
was great. People loved it because you recorded me, but I didn't know you were recording
I know, that
me.
was fun.
Do you remember, because this has also got a lot of play lately, do you remember defending me when Fearless Fred
Of
called
course,
into
yeah.
Humble and Fred?
I was just in doing something with Fear. That sounds weird. It's like Ed Keenan in your basement for 2
Yeah.
hours. But I was in doing something with
the
Fred.
with the fearful one?
The other, like just a couple
Fred
hours
Kennedy?
ago myself. And I was thinking about you.
Okay.
I was
Because
thinking
we're
about
forever
defending
connected
you.
because that episode, anyways, it's the whole thing.
Do you
but-
remember me
Yeah.
calling you and saying, hey, can you talk to that guy that put something up online that was
Yeah, and
mean?
do you remember me helping you?
Yeah.
I talked to that
Yeah,
guy.
I love you for that.
And they took it down
That was the
because I
nicest
told
thing
them,
ever.
well, let's spend more time elaborating so that people know what a nice guy I am.
I think they know. Hey, how are you doing, by the way?
Because you were, Robbie J, I do
Hi,
want to talk
Robbie J.
to you. So Robbie J, the spirit of
Rob
radio
Johnston,
himself.
producer.
Do you think I don't know who that is? He was in my basement last month with Alan
Oh,
Cross.
he was in your basement with Alan Cross.
Yeah, I don't just have
That's a lot of people in the basement.
a lot of, about 1,200
he's,
people.
He's talking about all the people he had in his basement. Now, I don't get that. I don't
But
get
Kelly, you've been in my
that
basement, too.
revealing.
I haven't banged my head yet, which is good.
And remind us, you're
This is just,
6
like, I haven't even been
foot 10,
drinking,
what
and
are
there's
you?
just so many places to go.
I
I am a
Robbie J's
14-year-old
been over a
boy
few
hiding
times, several times, at least 3
exquisite
times.
woman's
right?
body.
Yes,
What?
yeah, that seems right.
I read something on Facebook, Kelly. I don't know if you
Uh-huh.
read this about Robbie J. I hope I have the right guy. You were talking about how you met your wife.
Yes.
Like that was in the last week, right?
That was 25 years ago on the 3rd of April.
You didn't write it on Facebook 25 years ago.
It was a long, convoluted story about.
It was a good story.
That
Like,
was a good story.
I was riveted.
Yeah.
And I read the whole thing.
And the Watchmen are
I'm coming
involved.
down to you.
The
I know the
Watchmen are
Watchmen are
involved.
involved because you were tanked. You were
Yeah.
drinking a lot of beer at a Watchmen
Yeah,
show. I
they-
just did a Watchmen episode.
Uh-huh.
And Jamie Watson was part of it also.
Oh, Jamie Watson. That
Yeah.
man's assaulted
And
the
Brother
earth. I
Bill,
love that
Brother
man.
Bill was key
Come on,
element because we ended up at
Billy.
Studio 69.
He's
Oh.
actually in town in May, and he's going to
When?
be in my basement at the end of May.
I want to go in your basement with Bill.
Okay, I can make that
I
happen.
want to be in the basement.
He's
with
going to
Bill.
be in my basement. Neil Morrison.
Sounds dirty.
Can you talk to me about Jamie Watson for a minute? Then I want to get back to Kelly
he's the nicest guy on the planet.
Because here's how, I don't know, I never worked in radio, but I hear Humble and Fred talk about him a lot. And he's the guy who did Don't Want to Be Flabby Anymore.
Jamie is the voice of the Comedy Network. He has been doing it since day one.
He's also voice of tons of cartoons.
He does.
The guy's amazing.
He's done 100 bajillion commercials that you don't know it's him.
Wow.
And then some you do. You're like,
some you
that's
do.
Jamie.
That's Jamie, yeah. He does imaging for radio stations. He does all kinds of things. He's actually... I learn more from Jamie as a producer than I think, and not to disrespect anybody I learn stuff from, but I think I learn more from Jamie than anybody else, because what Jamie told me was...
What?
It doesn't matter what you do, we can't break it, so we would just go in and do stupid things and see what happened.
You know what? I'll take your I've learned more from Jamie than anybody else in producing. I've learned more from Jamie about being a person, a good person, than from anybody else.
Where the hell's
planet.
Jamie? I'll get you
He's
two
such
losers
a good person.
So, Jamie,
Isn't he?
so what's that?
Everybody loves Jamie. You could do a freaking sitcom called Everybody Loves Jamie.
Jamie and Jim were paramount to my Jim McCordy. They were paramount to my April 3rd story. Because Jamie had left the Edge and we were going bar hopping on Queen Street. Anyhow, Jamie did the intros to our wedding. I pre-recorded. Of course, I pre-recorded and produced them because that's what I did.
That's what he does.
The day before, and Jim was the MC.
Wow.
Good times. Where was I?
There you go.
Where was Kelly Cutrara?
I was
Kelly
involved in
Cutrara
his life yet.
And Robbie J, you can hang around. You're a good FOTM. But Kelly Cutrara hasn't been on Toronto Mike other than her recording for episode 1000. We think like 9 years.
Yeah,
we
maybe
think it's
10.
been.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And in again, podcast years, that's like 50 years.
Yeah.
9 years.
But you know what? You don't want to overdo it because you want it to be special.
You're playing hard to get.
This is a very good Curious Cast event too, to go along with 640.
Oh, I heard that Great Lakes Brewery is sponsoring this Curious Cast podcast.
Delicious.
Is that correct?
See what I did there?
See,
right?
you know we're in the same family now.
Apparently, yes.
I practically work for Chorus. I get everything but the paycheck.
Me too. I mean, what? Jeez.
Kelly.
Kelly's
so because I have to catch up with you. So when you were on Toronto Mike, I think you were on 1010.
No.
Where you were at Fresh? Where are you? I
think I might have been doing work at Fresh, and that's a Jamie Watson thing.
It was a Jamie
because
Watson call, yes.
McCordy asked me if I wanted to go into music radio, and I didn't want to. And Jamie said, you should do it.
That's right. I remember that conversation.
And I
remember
did
hearing
it.
about that, yeah.
How did you get the gig at 640? Because you're running the roost there. You're kicking ass.
Oh, you're nice.
Aren't you?
I'm liking it.
That's what Robbie J told me.
It's fun.
And you've been there a while now.
How did you get in there?
She snuck in the back door. And
another basement story.
I remember now.
Is that what you're doing? I see where you went with that.
Somebody left who was doing an afternoon drive, and you were filling
you know what
in.
I was doing is when Sandy Salerno was working with Bill Carroll and Chris
Bill
Preston.
Carroll. It was Bill Carroll.
Chris, who is my, I love Chris. I don't know where he is.
He's down there, man.
He's my producer. He was Bill's producer. And then basically what happened was I would fill in for Sandy. And they knew that I could host a show on my own. So when Bill would sometimes not be able to make it in, I would just fill in with Chris alone. And then eventually Bill left. And I was Bill for 9 months with Chris.
And it's so weird you're on talk radio because you hate talking.
Yeah.
I know. I'm horrible.
And you're not that good at it.
No, I have a whiny voice.
No,
and
don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm just too fantastic looking to be on radio, quite frankly.
Kelly, back in the Edge days when Kelly and I first met, Kelly was like one of the best people to talk to in the hallways because you just talk about off air for the longest time.
Yeah. We had a good time. I'm happy we were together.
Well, you took over for May Potts.
I did.
Which is a thankless position for you.
Everybody loved May.
Yeah.
But you know what? I didn't care because I really loved May too, and I just liked doing the job. It was fun.
What happened to May? She just disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she...
May went to talk radio. She went to talk radio. That's
right.
what happened.
Mojo.
She did.
She went up
and then she left and went up the road.
Yeah.
And now, she does that very well because she's May.
Is she still on air?
Yeah, I think she is.
Wayne Webster was in
I haven't heard her in years.
Come on.
May Webster was in my basement last week. Talking about
Wayne Webster, he's also another. If Wayne Webster and Jamie Watson were in the same room at the same time,
I gotta meet this Jamie guy.
Jamie, you know what Jamie looks like? Jamie looks
cartoon
like
character.
Mike Myers. He looks like Mike Myers. In some Mike movies, he does have a Mike Myers look.
Wow.
He looks like Mike Myers in So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Wow.
No, he does not. That's one of my favorite movies.
Go watch that
Head
and
pants,
see
no.
Jamie back in the 90s. It's kind of the same guy.
Wow.
So Jamie is brilliant.
I feel like, okay, the whole time, I love Mike so much, but the whole time we're talking, he's like looking around the room. I feel like I'm in high school and I'm talking to a popular guy.
Who's better over there?
And he's
who
like, who
next?
can I look? How long till this person's
It's
gone?
called, you know what? That's like
I'm
being.
going to be ditched any second.
It's like being in LA. Everyone's looking
that what
beyond you
happens?
to see who else is walking down the
Is
road.
that what happens?
That's what I found when I've been in LA. Yeah. Hey, great to see you, and they're kind of like
Really?
looking over.
I
your
don't
shoulder.
like that.
Yeah, it's weird.
I wouldn't like LA.
Yeah.
I like New York where I can go, hey, what the fuck? Oops, can I say that?
Yeah. It's not
What
the
are you
radio.
fucking looking at, eh? Mike, eyes over
There's
here.
no 7-second
That's what-
delay.
I'm walking here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I swore. It feels so wrong to swear.
You can't
on the
swear
air.
in 640?
No.
Who'd want to listen to a program where you can't swear? Can you swear on the Curious Casts? Like in Stover, let a F-bomb drop?
No, well,
Why
you'd
not?
have to ask Dani about
That's
that
the whole
one.
joy of
when
podcasting.
When we do some of the longer form ones, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It depends on the context of what it is.
Sometimes I really want to say, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, like,
but
so
I can't
honestly,
do that. But I don't have to because I think people know it's
Well,
in
you
my
have the whole
voice. They can hear
CRTC
it.
thing, but the podcast, they don't have CRTC stuff.
No. We you know what, on some of the shows I have put it in because I felt it is important to the story. And I think people are mature enough.
Yeah, but I think that you can do that with. Are you kidding me?
said
Everybody
it.
knows there's the F in there.
Are you frickin' killing me? Are you
No, you
frickin'
don't even
killing
have to
me?
say that.
Yeah. No,
You got
I
the-
agree. I don't, you know what? I don't like, here's the thing. If a host is doing it, I don't like to include it because I
Oh.
feel like it can be edited out.
Right.
It doesn't need to be in we're getting way too deep
Remember when I
what
used
do
to
you-
talk
you know where you
when
are,
we did
Robbie
the
J?
Humble and
This is
Fred
where we
thing,
get deep.
and I'd
Yeah,
say,
tell
will
me.
you edit that out? They're like, we're not editing anything. And
Humble and
I'm like,
Fred.
how come?
Don't edit
Get
anything.
rid
And
of
I
it.
won't edit anything. I recorded during the speeches that
I know
Cupita
you
was
did.
doing. I'm not editing that out. That happened, man. And you're great. And your episode 1000 recording,
Aw.
Robbie J's was great too, but yours was like almost illegal because I didn't know I was being recorded.
I know.
I need to find a
I
DAT
told you
player so
after,
I can
though.
get you those.
Bob Willette's got a buddy with a dad player. Because I had him, well, he's actually over on, Bob Willette's over on Monday.
Is he?
Oh, really? Bingo? He
Bingo
DJ'd
Bob.
my wedding.
Did
Bob,
you see this?
and Bob
Okay.
was a part of that,
And Bob
that night.
DJ'd my wedding, yeah.
Bob Willette
Oh,
is
that's
one
all.
of the
Lot of love.
toast guys. I do these toast episodes once a month, and Bob comes over once a month and does.
I like toast, like Melba and
do you know how
shit
many
like
fucking
that?
times I've tried to get Callie
Melba
Cutrara back
toast.
on Toronto Mike?
Like
Okay.
toast.
Alan Cross has made
lightly
10 appearances
buttered.
since your last appearance.
You have to go to Kelly.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Kelly,
Yeah.
just because
Yeah,
I'd be
what?
remiss if I didn't before we say goodbye.
Oh,
do
jeez,
you,
he's kicking me out for
do
somebody
you-
better.
Well, no, I don't want to be here all
What?
night. I got to get a few more voices on the
Okay,
show before
great.
I go.
I gotta get
But
somebody more
do
important
you
on, yeah.
credit at all? And I only am curious because of I produce Humble and Fred show.
Yeah.
But do you give Humble and Fred any credit for like a transition between you being like a rock DJ and a talk?
I
show
think
host?
no, I did do talk
'Cause you did a
before.
lot of
I
talk on
did
Humble
talk
and
at
Fred.
10:10 before.
Okay.
So
that's
I did do talk before, but I will give them credit here. I give them full credit for teaching me how to relax and be more authentic and more myself on the air and trust myself. So yes, I give them a lot of credit because when I was doing that, that was the most fun I've ever had working in radio. Was working on that podcast.
And you only left because someone was going to pay you.
Yeah, because I didn't
to
have
do
any
it,
money.
'cause
I just
Humble and
didn't
Fred
have
didn't
enough
pay
money.
you.
Well,
Was
they
that
did-
when you went to CBC?
They did give me a little bit. No, it was between CBC
Okay.
and I went to Fresh.
Right.
But
Right.
I have to say, I knew then working with Humble and Fred that I wanted. I don't like being alone in the booth. I like being with people.
Right.
And so that's why I love working with Chris and Dave on a daily basis because it's fun with the fellas. I wouldn't want to do it alone. It's boring. And I say that at the end of my show. My little catchphrase is, I wouldn't want to do it without you. I'm like, well, it's actually, I just screwed it up.
You don't know your catchphrase.
I couldn't do it without you and I wouldn't want to. That's what I say.
Do you remember at Wayne Gretzky's you were going to play the
Yeah.
Blessed Virgin Mary in a
And then I
pageant?
said
Did you
I
remember
wouldn't.
that?
They
and
wanted
you
me to.
refused. Yeah.
Yes, they did.
I ended up having to play the
I
Blessed
know, but it was
Virgin
way
Mary.
better with you.
No.
You got better tracts of land. She was pregnant. She was ready to feed.
Robbie J, what does that mean? What is she saying? Tracts of land.
Being inappropriate.
But this is because
I can't do this
you were raised
anymore.
Catholic, right?
I was raised
It's
Catholic.
no shame in being raised Catholic. You don't choose how you're raised. I was raised Catholic.
Yeah.
But you hold on to some Catholic guilt.
Oh, I was raised in an
Like-
Irish mother's house. Irish Italian Catholic. You can't get
Well,
away from
Cutrara
that.
is a very Irish name.
Yes, it certainly is. I just found out from my sister. She said that we got kicked out of Spain. So it's actually Spanish.
Wow.
Moved to Sicily.
Okay, we better go because Mike's looking for better
only
people.
Only because I'm going to try to do only half an hour more.
Okay,
but
bye,
you can't
everybody.
You can't both leave at the same time.
Why not? You're kicking me out.
One of you will leave.
Okay.
And then that person will get somebody just to sit on here. I don't care who it is. I'll take Ed Keenan for 2 minutes just because it's kind of funny to me that he spent 2 hours in my basement. You could tap him. I know he's talking to Troy, but that's okay. And then maybe Ed's wife comes on. Maybe I put... How about a husband and wife team?
Yeah, that's fine.
Husband and wife for a couple of minutes? Okay.
I'll leave.
But any final thoughts? So, Kelly, thank you for coming back.
Bye, Mike.
And you look great. We should hang out more.
You're a nice liar.
We should hang out more. And thank you for defending me against that fearful one. That was very nice of you. Robbie J., any final thoughts before you give the mic to Rebecca, who apparently is married to this guy? That's amazing. So you're going to sit down, Mr. Keenan.
Nobody can believe it.
I would just.
I hope her vision never comes back.
Keep listening to podcasts.
Okay, we agree on that.
There you go. Yeah.
We agree on that. Okay. Robbie J., everybody. That's the post office's loss. Pina, you gonna line me up like an Alex Pierson or Greg Brady? Okay,
you gotta go.
I'm going straight to
you need a chase producer here on site.
Rebecca, you've never been on Toronto Mike. This is a big moment for you.
Debut, yeah.
You're not going to be able to sleep tonight.
I've been jumping up and down all afternoon.
Did Ed give you a heads up that you might get on Toronto Mike tonight? Did he tease you with that on your way here?
Yeah.
He mentioned something as we walked in the door.
I was, yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, this.
So we're gonna get roped into it. Here.
But does Rebecca wonder? So Rebecca, tell us your full name and just a little bit about yourself, and then I'm going to ask you if he ever shares a lasagna with you, because he comes home with lasagna.
Shh, I share the beer. Isn't that enough?
Who's getting this lasagna, Mr. Keenan?
Okay, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Ed's wife, Rebecca Cuneo Keenan, and Ed loves lasagna. It's his number one favorite food.
It's delicious.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Me too, buddy.
And the children also love it.
1 August, it must have been, we were moving to DC,
right.
And it was like 35 degrees, and he comes home with like a giant frozen lasagna to put in the oven for like 2.5 hours.
And Rebecca thinks that lasagna is like a seasonal food.
Which
like,
season?
Like you only eat it in like the winter.
It's not August.
Yeah, it's just like you're going to turn the oven on for 2 hours.
Oh, that's true.
And cook this hearty, heavy meal.
I get
like,
your
we have
point.
air conditioning in the house.
But I actually get that. Like, you don't typically do something.
It's not like I'm cooking it over a roaring open fire.
And I had a joke for you when I saw you. I was going to tell you, long time no see. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, because and if you are just tuning in here now and you missed it, it's because mere hours ago we were spent
literally
hours together in Mike's basement. So
we spent so we recorded for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And as we talk here, it is 8 o'clock, and we said goodbye at, I'm going to say 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
So literally 4 hours ago, we were closing up.
Finishing a 2-hour conversation, and yet I'm back for round 2. But that's why I brought Rebecca, because I thought somebody will have some fresh insight here.
Rebecca's I think Rebecca's a bigger celebrity than you are, right?
Likely,
Edward?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say you're a bigger deal?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I actually have memories of, like, I feel like delivered fresh craft beer to Rebecca at some point in the Junction.
Yeah, that's right. At the
Our
old
house on Keel Street, yeah.
Right.
I think I remember that now.
I remember biking over, knocking at the door, Rebecca's at the door, and me handing off like a, what's your favorite beer? Is it, what's the Pompous Ass?
I do like a Pompous
Ass. Yes. I think I gave her a case of Pompous Ass.
Which I
didn't leave an impression.
You can tell it just like she likes her beer like she likes her men.
That's
Pompous Asses.
Pompous Asses, yeah.
Right. So how do you like coming back to Toronto? Is this everything going well?
It's great to be home. It really is, yeah. We had a fun time, but we were also locked out of the country for 2 years with the pandemic. And
oh, yeah.
It's the whole thing, like when you're moving down and you realize, okay, it's like a 10-hour drive or whatever. It's a 2-hour flight, or, So it's like once a month or once every 2 months, maybe one of our family members will come and visit us, and once every 2 months we'll come home, and it'll be like we're still, and then we were only there for a few months when we were locked in the country for 2 years.
It's kind of your fault, maybe.
I think I was responsible, yeah.
Because those odds, that's like, I don't know. There's something going on there. Who does Rebecca think is going to be the mayor of Toronto in June? I want to get her prediction. Now that we've got Ed going all in on blank blank.
Oh, it's like the hockey playoffs. It's too soon to know.
I'll find out who wins, and I'll come back and I'll insert.
Whereas only I predicted it would be the Philadelphia Flyers.
Mr. Black.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, in The Simpsons, they did that Super Bowl episode.
Exactly.
And they didn't know who it was Bills and the Washington team. I think. Dallas. I think. Anyway.
Right. But
amazing.
You
so
just dub it in or whatever.
So Ed, just since the 640 event, why is Rebecca not your co-host on your 640 show?
You'd have to ask Amanda about that. Like I'm not a
Can you get me Amanda? Because I'll fucking tell her. We're gonna put it.
I can't even see her here.
She's here because I saw her earlier. But I'm all Ed Keenan'd out, to be honest. Like my cap is 2 hours on Edward, and then
well, you're complaining to the wrong woman because
2 hours is
what's
generous.
your cap,
it's
Rebecca?
generous.
What's your cap on Ed Keenan?
Yeah, I go 90 minutes at the most.
You can go 90.
Yeah, but for 20 years now, 20 minutes at a time.
And how many kids you guys have?
Three.
That we know
not
of.
A trick question. Not a trick question.
Isn't that what
I remember
like a
all
Boris Johnson answer is like that I know of?
Yeah, dudes can say that, but it's tougher for the women to do that one. But
it's more like a couple thing. Yeah.
It's right. Okay, amazing. It's good to see Rebecca here. Enjoy the new Palma pasta lasagna that hopefully Ed brought home today.
It did make it home. I don't have a mobile
and give her
oven,
the beer.
so and the beer got there, and the speaker, and the flashlight. So we got it all now.
Okay, so the flashlight, courtesy of Ridley Funeral Home. The speaker is the Maneris
This is like
podcast.
bonus sponsor service because we already did all these plugs on the show.
But that was a different episode.
All right, okay.
Yes, we are open, season 4 with FOTM Al Grego, the award-winning podcast. It inspires me, Rebecca. I'm a small business owner, and Al is interviewing small business owners across the country, getting their perspective on things and their insight, and it's really inspiring. Yes, we are open. Season 4, available now. Shout out to Maneris. Okay, so Ed, I can let you go, but you have to tag somebody in. Pina, who's up next?
Vince Tedesco from Inside Jokes.
Okay,
Vince Tedesco is
and Rebecca, you're now
here.
an FOTM, okay? Tell your wife she's an FOTM, and she should get a tattoo that says FOTM. Okay? I don't care.
Obviously, that's the way it goes. If you've been on the show, you get the Fatma tattoo.
Do you also need food? I'll wrangle people and get you food.
Because then I do want food, but I can't do it now.
I'll make you a plate. I'm Italian.
I feel like that's rude.
The plate is less of a problem than the talking while eating, right?
I talk a lot. So here's what we're going to do. Ed's going to leave, but here are the people I actually have to get before I shut down here because I'm
look at him working me, eh?
Yeah.
Pina's good for this,
you are
right?
now a chase producer.
I need Greg Brady.
Okay, Alex Pierson.
Alex Pierson and Danny Stover.
All right.
And you can surprise me with anyone else, but I need those people. Okay, so...
And
I can,
no
from
problem.
where I'm sitting right now, before I tag out, I can see Greg Brady from right here.
Well,
he has
even
been
Greg's wife, actually, that would be fun to do. Greg and his wife.
Cornered by a mayoral candidate by the look of things.
So what's your name and what's your occupation?
Perfect. My name is Vince Tedesco. I'm co-host and executive producer of Inside Jokes.
You're funny.
Somewhat may say I'm funny, yes.
Are you a stand-up comic?
No, but I love the art of stand-up comedy, and I interview them for a living, so there you go.
And this airs on 640?
This airs on 640 every Saturday night.
It aired on 1010, and you're like just crashing the party.
See, you have a career in comedy, you don't even know it.
Thank you. You can have me on your show.
Perfect.
So do you talk to stand-up comics?
Every single last one of them. We really like promoting Canadian comics, but of course, everyone south of the border tries to get on as well.
Well, screw those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so... What's the name again?
Inside Jokes every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Podcast available every Sunday morning right here on 640 Toronto.
Do you record at the Chorus Key here, or do you record from home?
We did, and then something unfortunate happened.
A pandemic?
For 3 years, and then we kind of reshifted, and now we're all on Zoom. Yeah. Have you been on Zoom?
I've been on Zoom, yeah. It's not as fun as in person.
It's
harder
the cat's
to be funny,
whiskers,
right?
as they say.
Okay, so let's name check. So give me some recent stand-ups who have appeared on your show.
Russell Peters, Sam
never
Morrell,
heard of him.
Jim Gaffigan.
These are big fucking names.
Yeah, they're huge.
I thought you were going to give me some shitty Yuck Yucks comic nobody knows.
We have a million of those,
And one day, if you play your cards right, you could be one of those guys.
You, of course. Hey, why not make $16,000 a year working for Yuck Yucks?
So Russell Peters has been on your show.
Russell Peters has been on our show, a frequent visitor on our show. Yeah, he comes on every once in a while. Whenever somebody has something to promote, the radio is their best friend. Any form of media is their best friend.
So let me ask you this. Have you had Brent Butt on your show?
Brent Butt has not been on our show.
Okay, I'm just trying to compare now.
Sometimes Canadian comics are too good for Canadian media.
That's unfortunate, right? Like Brent thinks he's too good for a show that's going to air on 640.
Exactly. I can name others if you want me to really...
Yeah, give me the name of all the Canadian
somebody
comics
that rhymes
who think
with
they're too
Gary
good for you.
P.
You know what? That guy, this Jerry D, he's too big for his britches. What is it? Family Feud Canada?
Yeah.
You think now that you're the host of Family Feud Canada, you're too good for, what's your last name again?
Vince Tedesco.
Vince Tedesco? Sorry, mister. I'm all riled up here, okay?
Shave your head and grow a mustache, then maybe you'll be as funny as Steve Harvey.
Jerry D, you can come on Vince Tedesco's show.
Tedesco, yep.
As it airs on 640. How about John Doerr?
John Doerr has been on our show.
Okay.
There we go. He's actually a big supporter of Canadian comedy.
Yeah, his sister's very funny, too.
Alison Doerr. She has her own comedy label, Howl and Roar.
Yes, which released the Juno Award-winning John Doerr album, and I only know this because John just made his Toronto Mike debut, and he told me all about it. Yeah, he won the Juno.
He did, the Comedy Album of the Year.
Okay.
And before then, Andrea Jin. So there's a lot of, it's not just Toronto that's bursting with comedy. Vancouver's got a great comedy scene. Montreal obviously has got a great... I mean, they got the French thing going for them, but I mean, hey.
We won't hold that against them.
No,
That's
we won't.
Historical. Okay, so Vince, amazing. Is there any stand-up comic that's on your hit list that you really want to get on, but you haven't had on yet?
Well, this week we're actually, a few more have been crossed off. Jim Florentine, from an old Crank Yankers comic and an old Howard Stern faithful.
I enjoyed the Crank Yankers. I enjoyed that show.
He'll be on our show this coming week, along with Carmen Lynch, both New York comics coming to Toronto.
Okay.
So we
have you had Artie Lang on your show?
Huh?
Artie Lang?
Artie Lang would be a nice one to get, yeah.
We got to get him before he dies.
Which could be any time between now and Thursday. So I got
Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home.
There you go.
Okay. I love Artie Lang because I'm a big Howard Stern fan from back in the day. And I liked him because...
How do you feel about the new Stern now?
I haven't heard it in a long time. But I liked him. He did Dirty Work here with Norm Macdonald, which was Bob Saget directed that film.
Right.
And it was like in my neighborhood. They were filming that back whenever they filmed Dirty Work. And I always thought Dirty Work was an underappreciated comedy film. I think Norm Macdonald, the late great Norm Macdonald, hilarious. Did you ever get Norm Macdonald on your show?
We never got Norm Macdonald. We had a lot of Norm's friends when he passed. Obviously, we did a commemorative episode. But I mean, Dirty Work is one of those, what would you say, cult films?
Yeah, I mean...
It's a cult era film. Like, you got to know it to know it.
Yeah, and there's like I'm trying to think, who's the comic who roasts everybody? He's dead now, but he's...
Oh, Greg Giraldo.
No.
No.
The guy who, like, he'll insult you to your face, Don Rickles.
Oh, my God. Sorry, I know you're going that. I was thinking the celebrity
was in Dirty Work.
Yes, Don Rickles was in Dirty Work.
Okay.
I had tickets to see Don Rickles. And then he died.
And he
died. I
died,
tried to get my money back, and they wouldn't allow it.
You know what? That's bullshit. If you die before your performance, all money should be refunded.
Refunded, yeah. Casino Niagara, are you listening? Sons of bitches.
So remind us, when does your
Inside
show...
Jokes, every Saturday night at 9 p.m. on 640 Toronto.
Okay. How do I get 640 Toronto? Where is it on the dial?
It's right between 680 and 690 and 6.
It's between 590 and 680.
Yeah.
You go to those stations and you go in the middle,
and then you'll find me somewhere in a frequency there.
Okay, so you're a good man, but when you leave now, because I have to talk to the fabulous Dani Stover, who's already an FOTM, but we're going to catch up. You have to get somebody else. You know who I need? I need a Greg Brady.
Correct.
I see him right here.
I work with Greg Brady. I'll pass him along.
Tell Greg Brady that he needs to come on this mic because Toronto Mike said so. Okay? Nice to meet you. Give me a fist bump. You're
Great
a good
stuff.
man.
Dani, rock the mic.
Danny's way better looking than you, so I'm going to go look over here now, okay? Please. That's not come on. There's a low bar. Okay. So get comfortable, Dani Stover.
Okay.
Are you the reason this party exists? Like, I'm looking at the sign. You're the reason this party exists?
I mean,
did he call me a punk ass bitch? We're gonna throw down here today.
Don't do his face.
I heard that.
I don't use that language.
I'm the podcast bitch. This is
Wait a
my
minute.
party.
Okay.
I just said that's my favorite new band.
Stick those on. Okay, Dani Stover, all attention on you. Greg Brady will be next.
I just want to praise Dani Stover, so let's do that.
Okay, I don't have that much time though. Okay,
I do.
Dani, you've been over twice.
Yeah.
And now you are like the queen of chorus because this whole event is for you, right?
I mean,
Brady didn't get an event.
Nope, just here for the beer. Nothing about the show.
I don't remember a Greg Brady event.
I mean, this is technically the podcast launch, but it's also kind of a meet and greet. I mean, when's the last time?
The signage says Today in TO.
I know. The sign is pretty cool.
There's no Greg Brady Toronto Today signage.
I don't know Dani that well, but I was going to ask if she'd take a picture with me. I'm kind of a virtual stranger to her in front of the sign.
You're both FOTM, so you're united by love of me.
Yeah. So it's I mean, we've already launched the podcast, so this kind of is coming a little later. But we've also got the great 640 Toronto beer. And this is the thing, I just haven't been to a radio event in a long time. Getting listeners and schmoozing and, you know.
Listen, I have audio of Dani in the heart of the pandemic saying she'd never go anywhere again, never do a buffet, never go on a
and
cruise.
Here she is. And look how close you are to Greg Brady
never
right now.
She loves music like I do. She'd never... No. And so she's broken a lot of her nevers from like 20 months ago.
Okay, so Dani, how did you end up hosting Today in Toronto? No, Today in TO. We got to get that right. Like, how did it happen? Greg, we're going to get back to you, of course. You're a fabulous FOTM. You know what I think? When Dani leaves, I want your wife on the other mic. I want the Bradys.
I can do that.
That's what I want.
She's the only... You know she wouldn't come to your basement without another woman with her as a safety. Christina Rutherford. Yeah, I said, great guy, super safe.
I want to talk to her about that.
No issues. There's no blood tests. There's no
Dani,
nothing.
When you came over the first time, just yourself came down in the basement.
Yeah.
Did you ever
shady.
Did you ever feel unsafe? For the record.
No.
Did you hesitate though? Like, did you have a minute like, who is this guy? Maybe I won't go in his basement.
You know what? It's funny. I didn't. But when I say it out loud, it's like, yeah, you're going to go to this guy's basement.
You know what? Maybe somebody like a Fred Patterson vouched. Yeah, it's very low ceiling.
Yeah.
A Fred Patterson might have vouched for me, and it gave you a sense of reassurance.
Yeah, no, that's probably
because Fred, for the record, I want to get this right. Fred Patterson knows your parents.
Yes, so my parents had a trailer at Lovesick.
Yep. In the Kawarthas.
And Freddie P was there. And so Freddie P, I would credit him for getting my first job in the industry because he was like at the edge.
At the edge.
Because he's he's like, maybe you should email Jason Barr, which I did.
Also an FOTM.
All these names.
And then the rest
he's in Ottawa now.
history.
Okay, so your start was on the morning show at Edge 102.1, which is actually called 102.1 The Edge.
Yep.
Even though I always call it Edge 102. And then after that, you were at the Wolf.
Yep.
I know you had a podcast with Blog TO.
Yeah, I was at Indy 88 for a spell.
Indy 88 for a spell. I'm just catching up with you here. And how did you end up at 640 Toronto?
I was kind of like wistfully unemployed, and I was like, maybe radio's not for me. Well,
they don't deserve you.
Well, I mean, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is done. Then I got a producer job with the Kelly Cutrara show, filling in, which I was like, all right, I'm in the zone, and this is a kind of a cool experience, and I learned a ton, and then
she's amazing.
Didn't go away. I was just kind of like, well, how about this? How about this? Well, maybe you want social media, or maybe you want this, and I just kind of kept pushing, and then this job came up. It was like, listen, we're gonna do an evening show.
What's it called? What's this evening show called?
Let's Talk.
Let's Talk.
So it's like a clip show, but don't call it a clip show. So it's like I basically repackage audio from the day, but I add my little.
So Greg Brady's on the show.
Yeah, you'll hear Greg Brady. You'll hear Alex Pierson.
It has great music also. It's got great music bumpers, and they let the music stretch out. They let. I'm like, I think she's there. I think she's going to start talking in a second.
I'm glad you asked about the music.
The music's great.
The music was something people pushed back on, and I was like, "This is a hill I will die on."
Well, because the average listener is like 65 years old.
Yeah, so I
say why was it who was not who, but why was the music maybe a?
They want the Who.
I mean, so the song off the top is called Doomsday, and it's by MF Doom, and MF Doom is like one of my So when he
shout out to Ridley Funeral Home.
When he passed away, that was when I became a fan, and it was during the pandemic, and I think it just spoke to me in a way that I was like really connected with the music. And so when the show came about, I was like, what's a song that I want to have? I'm picturing you're driving on the Gardner, and it's kind of twilight hour, and you're in the car, and you're like, okay, I'm going to listen to some talk radio, and that song comes on, and that's a vibe I kind of wanted to hit. So the fact that I get to play MF, the fact that I came from music radio where I didn't get to pick any of the songs, that now I'm on AM radio and I kind of get to pick the songs.
Also, I like the image of this because her show started in February and it's dark at like 6:05 p.m.
Right.
But I'm telling you, when I come downtown or drive and you see the sunset and you're coming to a concert or a TFC game, being able to listen to that and Dani kick in her show at 7 is going to be amazing.
I'm going to try to phrase this respectfully because I'm a big fan of Dani Stover and a big fan of Greg Brady, but I'm also, I like the station 640. Most people on your station, except for the afternoon drive guy, are FOTMs. Like, this is almost all of you. But you're too cool for 640, right? Like, you're a cool young person, a hip, cool young person, and AM radio listeners are a little bit more dashboard poundy and a little more salty.
I've always loved talk radio, and specifically 640
Greg, there's no
Toronto.
camera on you. I wish I could capture
Tell
your
them
head
the
shake here.
stereo. I get texts from 26-year-olds. I get texts from
Really?
28. I really do. I really
Are they in
do.
jail?
Now I don't know
In
if
the
they
only
wear.
station they get?
Mike, I know you know how the PPM works. I don't know if they wear a people meter around or that they put it on their Cocker Spaniel when they go for a walk. But I do get texts from 26. I always think we always turn into our parents. We all will turn into our parents. However uncool we think our parents are, you're a dad of growing. How old's your oldest?
21.
Right. So you know the time when you were like super dad, superhero, and that changes. And then they're like, oh, dad. But then they come back around. Your 21-year-old probably thinks you're awesome. Well, you pay for things too, so that factors in.
Pina's the best. Go on. Please continue.
He's just great.
2, 3 is coming.
Okay, but I'm actually going to do, after Dani, and I'm not done with Dani yet, I would like Rachel Brady. Because I'm going to do a married couple thing.
Yeah.
I just did it with Ed Keenan and his wife. I know.
Oh, my God.
But after
Don't
Rachel
say that
Brady,
too loud.
Who's coming in? Who do you have lined up?
Alex Pierson.
Oh.
Yeah, so Alex is going to come on after Rachel because I love Alex Pierson, and I want to hear.
Spell my first and last name for the check? End of the night.
I'll get
Speaking
you
of
a
things I
lasagna.
shouldn't say, I want Alex to do it with my wife
We're going to talk about the hills.
on the air.
I should have brought a fourth mic. Alex, don't go anywhere because after Rachel Brady, you're going to come on the mic. Okay, so here's because Greg's going to be here for Rachel. You're the best. Back to Dani because I really this is important. So Dani, I'm kidding, of course. I'm just mildly jealous because I was the podcast that Great Lakes sponsored. Toronto Mike's. For years, Pierson got Great Lakes beer when she came on Toronto Mike. Brady's had how many 6-packs of Great Lakes beers over his lifetime? You got Great Lakes beer, and now you're sponsored by Great Lakes. Should I be jealous?
I mean, yeah, you should.
I am. You're coming for me.
100%.
She's not getting Palma pasta. Those Italians aren't giving up Palma pasta.
Don't make a phone call to Petrucci family.
That's a bad idea.
I'm nervous now.
Do you want to end up in the bottom of Lake Ontario? You don't.
Sleeps with the fishes. What happened to Luca Brasi?
I don't know.
Well, Greg will tell you.
I don't.
I'm too young.
He sleeps with the. You are too young. When do you turn 30?
Never.
Never. Okay, so obviously I'm a big Dani Stover fan. That's why this is your third appearance on Toronto Mike. But this Today in TO, I hope it's a big fucking success.
Yeah.
What does Rob Johnston do with this show?
He
Anything?
is. Well, yeah, he's got part of Curious Cast. So
Okay.
Curious Cast is like kind of backing us.
Don't let him touch the show. He'll fuck it up. Okay. And last but not least, your show. Okay, it's like not a clip show, but okay.
Well,
get
that's
on
the
my
radio show. Toronto Tito Today in TO is a bit of me with some clips from shows across the network.
You're
It's
like-
a little bit more.
You're running the
my
show
opinion.
at Queens Quay.
I mean, I don't know.
She's got an it factor. I will say that. I think I really.
All this because your parents know Freddie P from the trailer park. Greg,
I'm not
it
a-
all connects.
I guess.
Think about it.
But she's.
She
you
gets
know,
the
this
edge
is
job.
no Tory spelling here. Let
It's
me just
close.
say that right. No, it's not.
You know that triggers me, Tori
My
spelling.
parents are bankers.
Is it Nepo or Nepo? Which is it? I've been
Nepo?
saying Nepo baby for a month now.
She would be a Nepo baby if she was Freddie P's daughter. She's not Freddie P's daughter, are you?
And we love Freddie P's daughter. No.
Alex is not a Nepo baby either here. Okay. So Dani Stover, I'm not jealous of your success. I'm happy for you because you're at FOTM. I'm hoping that when I wrap this up soon, now that I've got 2 VIP FOTMs joining me here, I can get a selfie with you later.
Yeah.
Then I can sell it maybe. I don't know. Can you sell an NFT? Is that an NFT?
You could say that. Yeah, you could get in front of the sign, especially.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. So don't go.
Where's the
don't leave.
Hebsy on Sports sign? Why don't you guys invest into that podcast with that slappy?
Okay, so yes, I want to talk about Hebsy with you. Dani Stover.
One makes one of us.
I know this is a big ask, but you have to find Rachel Brady and tell Rachel Brady.
Is she right there? My wife. She's over there in the corner with the curly hair. You'll find her. You could tell her to come
and
over.
And then after Rachel,
I love how
Alex
this is
Pierson.
like an interview show, but it's also you're treating us as gophers
Right.
because Pina
Yeah,
was
absolutely.
like, Mike wants to talk to you.
Could you bring a medium half latte with a double half caramel calf?
Like a decaf
Alex is going to
cappuccino?
mingle, and then she's going to come back.
Okay.
Maybe Alex should go get Rachel
Good
Brady.
heavens.
Rachel Brady.
Jeez.
May Rachel's vision never return.
Yeah.
Okay. What's it like working with Greg Brady?
Well, we don't really cross paths that often.
You just met each other for the first time.
Nah.
First time. No, I
The first time we saw each other in person, we were actually at the airport.
That's true.
Is that right?
Flying on the same flight to Los
He
Angeles.
travels with
although
Mark
she had a
Hebscher.
dog.
Hebsy and him go on road trips.
We went on one road trip.
But it was romantic, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you sleep in the same bed?
Have I told you the pot
just
story?
jealous.
Have I told you the pot story?
No,
Danny might
tell
like
me,
this.
tell
Not
me.
that I'm assuming Danny partakes. Can I tell you the story?
Yeah, but she partakes.
So,
I can tell by looking at it.
Mark and I go to see some soccer games in the UK, and Mark partakes, and I.
No, he's a big pothead. Seriously.
So I don't. It's not my thing, but I that's fine if Mark wants to do it. But we're getting through customs, and I'm thinking, he probably doesn't have anything with him. He probably doesn't have anything with him.
No,
Probably doesn't have anything with him.
he's smart.
But he gets through, and that's great. So he gets through, and there's no issues. And I don't know if he has anything with him or not. But by the time we get to our Airbnb, I got a swinging headache. Like we're gonna go and see matches, and
Is that what you told him? I have a headache.
yes, yeah, we were
Not tonight.
I didn't describe maybe tomorrow night for sure, but not tonight. So the Airbnb though, he's like, well, I got some Tylenol.
Right.
But he stuffed his stuff in the Tylenol. So I put the Tylenol caplets in my mouth, and I'm like,
oh, that's a great story.
Oh my God! Like you swallow them with the water, but then you're like,
but what stuff? Can you be specific? Like,
well, it
is
just
it
smells like you're at a
cannabis?
Steve Miller Band concert. Yes. I'm like,
there she is.
You smuggled
There she
this
is.
across the border.
I'm going to talk to Hebsy.
That's something Danny would never risk at LAX. I
Danny's
know
savy.
that.
She's
I know
savvy.
that she
Actually,
wouldn't
I
risk
think
it.
that trip, when I got to LA, I did find a squish joint in the bottom of my backpack.
Danny Stover. I got his crowd
That's what's
is
happening.
cheering you on here.
That's why they pay her the big
Subscribe to
bucks.
the podcast.
She's taking your spot.
All right.
You're amazing, Danny Stover. Much love to you. Thank you, Freddie
Danny's
P,
awesome.
for
Great
bringing
job.
her into our lives. Okay. Rachel, this is not negotiable. Sit down, please. Orders from your fearless leader
So
here.
this is the Globe and Mail NNA Award winner, Missioner nominee, and my beautiful wife of
Is that too loud?
17 years. Oh my God.
He's too loud.
19 years this
Well, you
summer,
would know.
Mike. How long have you been married to your current wife?
Current wife? I have to be specific. 10 years this June.
Oh,
10
great.
years.
Okay. Something special planned for 10?
No.
I have nothing special planned for 19, so 20's the big one.
She was
The
19.
big one.
19. Okay. Rachel Brady, you're an FOTM, but is it true you were afraid to visit me by yourself?
I never said anything about this.
I'm just asking because I realize now that you did come over with Christina Rutherford, who's
What
wonderful.
a great decision that was, though, right?
It was great to have.
It was great radio when I brought her with me.
You get two women for the price of one.
I just didn't think I was interesting enough on my own.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Christina's certainly
But
not.
aren't you a missionary,
Christina and I
missionary
have a
man,
really
or
great-
A
missionary?
Missioner award, well, but then she wasn't. So since
Aren't you in the mission, like a Michelin 5-star reporter?
It's
What's the
different.
proper
No, that's a
semantics here?
different
What awards have you won that we should be celebrating?
Just an NNA. Just one.
National
Just
Newspaper
one?
Award.
Get out of here. I don't talk to people till they win their second.
You talk to plenty of people who will never win one.
You know who was
write
over?
for the papers?
Larry Millman was Milson. Milson. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Larry won't
That
hear
breaking
this.
bruise has gone to your.
He's
your
80.
It's broke your bruise.
Yeah, I've got other issues. So Larry Milson was over earlier this week.
Okay.
And
He's got a lot of stories.
he was at the Globe forever.
Yes.
So
I don't know
want-
Larry. What did he do?
He apparently, according to Bob Elliott, no scribe has been to more Blue Jays games than Larry.
He's still going.
Like he's number one. Yeah, he's still going.
So something fun we did. We looked at the Steve Buffery retirement photo, and
I
we were
was
like,
there.
let's guess who's who, because we weren't sure. What a retirement celebration a couple weeks ago.
I was there.
I
You
did not
that?
know that. I didn't
Yeah.
spot you in the photo.
I didn't think I should be in the photos
Oh, okay.
because I'm not a newspaper person. I was the only non-newspaper
They were all
person.
hacks.
I did
in the
tweet.
photo.
Like, if you go to my Twitter account, I took selfies with a whole bunch of these people. Paul Beeston was there.
I saw you with Paul.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that was from that party. I got invited to the Beezer show. So there's a photo of Beeston and Beezer, like the Beester and the Beezer.
The bees.
And I'm like in the middle, the bees, and I'm in the middle there. But yeah, quite the party. So I just wanted to tell you about Larry because you're like a Globe and Mail gal.
Yeah, I see him all the time at Blue Jays games. We have a great chat. Yeah.
So I want to get to why you're here is because I want to find out, like, what is it that attracted you to Greg Brady?
Come on.
Come on, Rachel Brady. FOTM Rachel Brady.
Professional podcast.
Do you want to know? I asked her out after meeting her at a news conference.
She's waving you off because you're attractive.
Oh
do you
my
have
gosh, Mike.
Do you have self-esteem issues? You're very attractive.
Oh God, how many of those beers have you had?
Too many.
They set up here about 3 o'clock, and then the beers
I
start
have been
pouring
here.
around 4.
How long is this podcast?
I have been a while. We're almost at
Why
2
don't you
hours here.
ask her? There's professional questions about the media
We did that.
and
We
the
did that.
and,
I
and
am
lines
interested. When you
of
invited
engagement.
Christina,
would you like us to come back?
I would love you to come back. But when you invited Christina Rutherford, because that was for safety purposes, be honest with me.
Because we are way more entertaining.
There actually are a lot of
when we're
fun listening
together.
to. I don't get to listen to them enough
As
together.
covered on your podcast, we were roommates together at the Vancouver Olympics.
Right.
And we're just, we have a lot of fun together.
And she was like,
Was she going to protect me if you did
That's
throw
true.
it?
Because she's doing voiceover work for cartoons. Is that correct?
I don't
just
know about
kidding.
that.
I just made that up. She sounds like a cartoon.
She's the best.
She's amazing. It turns out my daughter, my youngest best friend's mom, grew up in like Bloor West Village or whatever as like the best friend of Christina Rutherford. Yeah. So shout out to Sarah Warden. This is true.
find.
Sarah Warden, okay.
He's a good friend of Christina Rutherford. Anyway, small world story for you.
Yeah.
So how many kids do you guys have together?
2.
Okay, you said
Me
it
and
right.
Greg or me and Christina? Me and
Christina did. She
She
did
now
pop
has
out.
2. Like
Yeah, she
before,
also
since you've
has
seen her,
2.
she's
I
gone
know.
bang bang 2, 1, 2.
Like right away, like 9 months after her visit, I was worried for a
Oh
minute
my
there,
gosh.
but I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Christina's lovely. So you have 2 kids together, and life is good. You're still
2 teenagers.
in Ajax. How old are these
Oh
children?
my gosh, 17 and 14?
Yeah, almost 15.
I'm teaching one of them to drive, me more than Greg.
Okay.
I'll tell you what we miss,
Tell
because
me.
this is where we saw you, and this is where we take the kids. How much do you miss the Toronto Wolfpack games?
I know.
On a lovely Saturday afternoon at
I might as
Lamport
well tell you,
Stadium,
I had the
missed them
best deal.
terribly.
I had the best deal going because I had always got me +3 for every Wolfpack home game.
Okay.
And it included all you can drink.
I know, they give you those
Think
little
about
little
it. Yeah.
little
So
casino
you get
chips.
the food because they have the food, right? But
I
then
love
you
the
can
games.
drink as much as you want, but it's you +3 on a beautiful whatever it was Saturday or whatever at
Good time.
Lamport Stadium.
If you said to me, what's the saddest thing to happen in Toronto sports, which I'm sure we'd talk about, I know there's, teams are going to lose games and lose series. It's the Wolfpack
I know.
getting crushed by the pandemic and not coming back.
Your
They
world,
signed
yeah.
what, Sonny Boy?
Some people might argue
Boy
not
Williamson.
having Kawhi, but
Well, they
the
already
Wolfpack
won.
is right there.
Yeah,
The
we
Wolfpack
did-
had just
we
gotten up
already
to
won.
the top level, snap, pandemic. Just like that.
Because I was at the £1 million match that we
Right,
lost.
right.
Which
And then the
was
one we
heartbreaking.
won.
And then I was at the one. I was at all these matches. I was a big fan.
I know. I loved
Good
it.
time.
I know.
General
Now-
admission seating, that takes
Yeah.
us back. You and I are kids of the
Yeah,
80s.
yeah,
Like, that takes you
grandstand.
back to sit where you want, get up, come back, sit down. I love being at the Wolfpack. I saw you at the Canada-Honduras game. Wasn't it like -8 degrees? Why did you go to that in the cold
Nah,
weather?
it was like 0.
Okay.
But I biked there. It was warm enough. Like I was layered up, and it was pretty warm, and it was great. I went because my buddy Bob Willett.
Yeah, I was on his
Who
podcast. I like
works
that
for-
guy, and he does stuff with you. Yeah.
He works with Chorus.
Yep.
In Kingston.
Right.
And he's over Monday night for Toast, and he invited me, and I said, yeah, let me see this Alphonso Davies character in person. Like I'd never seen him play in person.
So who's
It
the
was
next?
great.
Who's the next? We're wrapping this up, and I'm asking you the questions. Who's the next big get for Toronto, Mike? I know you want to get John Tory in the next
Yeah.
3 or 4
What's on
months.
your-
That must be a
John's
massive
too
get.
smart.
list.
He's too smart to
did
come
you-
on Toronto.
Was there ever a back and forth to get John on, and was it ever possible?
I never, I typically don't, make sure Alex doesn't go too far. I typically don't pursue politicians.
But you've had Stephen Del Duca, and I think you've
I
had
know.
some other politicians on,
If they
right?
beg me, I might let them come on. But
Well, it didn't work.
I'm not a big fan of the politicians,
Okay.
to be honest. But I did have Stephen Del Duca on. Yes. And John Tory is welcome to come on Toronto Mike, but I'm not pursuing him. I think he's too smart to come on Toronto Mike at this point. I had Ed Keenan in my basement for 2 hours today.
I know, smart political guy. Like him a lot.
Yeah,
he was
we talked.
He guest hosted 640.
He's here somewhere. In fact, he and his wife were just on the mics. You're the second husband and wife duo to be on the
great.
mics.
Oh.
Because I do the deeper dives with your podcast that my wife wouldn't listen to. I'm like, oh, I need to hear an hour and 10 minutes with Gordon Depp from the Spoons. And she's like, I don't. So... We have a bit of a disconnect there.
So here's my question for Rachel Brady, award winner from
See
the
if I
Globe
get
and
to
Media.
answer it or if someone else
Globe and Mail.
jumps on me. Okay.
Have you ever listened, even if include yourself if you want, your episode, have you ever listened to an episode of Toronto Mic'd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably Greg's.
So you'll listen
At
to
least
Greg
one.
Brady.
I think I listened to Ryan Wolstadt on your podcast.
Oh, yeah. Who was at the Beezer?
And perhaps Michael Grange. Was Michael Grange on your
3 Point Grange. He was over.
3 Point Grange.
Yeah.
Who else have I
Can you get
listened
Cahal
to?
Kelly, her colleague, on? He's an interesting character.
I had a chat with him at Beezer's thing, and he basically went like this. I mean, we shake hands. He goes, Mike, I love your podcast. He goes, I listen to your podcast
Did
all the
not
time.
know that.
He said, I will never come on Toronto
He
Mic'd.
does that. He won't come on with me on the radio. He's very eclectic that way.
Which I respect that he's just straight out saying
He
I won't
consumes media, but he'll tell you I'm not interested in doing it.
So
they get him on the Globe podcast on the Decibel. I don't know how they do that.
Well, they pay him, maybe.
Well, they threaten to withhold his pay if he doesn't. I think that's it.
Do you guys miss David Schultz, who was in my basement 2 days
Rachel's
ago?
former colleague. There
Good
you go.
guy.
I know,
You've
that's
seen
why
him
I'm
more
mentioning-
recently than me. We do miss
And
him
he was
very
at Beezer's.
much.
I saw him at Beezer's,
I
and he
saw
comes over.
him.
So here's what goes on. Every month or so, Gare Joyce writes a script for another episode of Every Spring a Parade Down Bay Street. And the lead character's name is Red York. And he's performed by David Schultz. So Schultzy is in my basement at least once a month to record a new episode of Every Spring a Parade Down Bay Street.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Gare writes these things, and he's a great writer, as you might know.
Yes.
And they're very funny, and I get to play the producer, Ollie Thumbs, and we all just go basically like old school radio plays or whatever. We have our scripts, and we record, and then I edit it, and then we have a fresh episode of Every Spring a Parade Down Bay Street.
The last time I was there, what I would advise Rachel to come back for a longer visit is when you do the broadcast on your porch, because you and I did that the last time in September 21.
Do you know how many compliments I got about that? Like people who said they really appreciated your real talk.
Yeah, but
about what you endured.
590.
Yeah.
And
that took some
it's
courage.
But you push through stuff, and you I don't know that you get over stuff, but you oh my goodness, because that afternoon the fan made all their changes.
Right,
And they
that's right.
They let Scott MacArthur go. They
Right.
gave the morning show
Do
to
you know-
JD Bunkus. They did a bunch of different stuff.
What's happened with Scotty Mac?
I don't have a clue.
You don't
I know
have a
he's-
clue. Because I
but
get that question more than any other.
that he disappeared from 1010. I don't know.
He
but
deleted his social media.
I think anybody who's met him just
and he doesn't reply to my texts.
anybody who's met him and he nuked his Twitter account.
Yeah,
I think
yes.
you just hope
That's
he's
fine.
okay. Like
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who knows him well
Rachel
enough to know
knows.
that
Do you
no,
know?
she
I don't.
doesn't.
I don't.
Do you know who Scotty
I
Mac
don't know.
is?
I don't know. Yes, but I don't know him, and I don't know his whereabouts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you,
But I
Greg.
love the
hope he's
outdoor.
okay.
My point was I like the outdoor venue. So you should give that an option in June, July,
It's
and
always
August.
an option. For example, Mike Wilner won't come in the basement. So Mike Wilner
Why?
has
COVID?
He's COVID.
He's a very COVID concerned person. No, but he is.
Rachel just hit
I just
Greg
hit
on
Well,
the
some
arm.
people are a 9 out of 10 for being concerned. Some people are a 2. It's okay.
So you're
I don't judge.
you're a Windsor. You're like a Detroit guy. Okay. Do you remember? Did you listen to CFNY, Rachel Brady?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, Brother Bill, he's coming by and he wants to be he put a special order in to be on the deck. So if people request the deck,
I'm telling Amanda I want it to stop.
is that Amanda Capito? She's also an FOTM.
Have her back a second time because she described me as a breath of fresh air when she started. I want to
breath?
know if she. How
did this interview all?
Yes, exactly.
She's
We've gone past
she's your
the
PR
length of time.
representative.
Alex Pierson, the other hosts are supposed to
Who
want
else
some
would
time.
you like? We'll round someone
Where
up
is
for you.
Alex? She's supposed to be on or talk to the administrator.
So here's what we're going to do. I now have the truth here, which is I feel like Rachel's being held against her will in this marriage.
Oh my God! I could have told you that 10 years ago.
No,
Oh,
it's
boy.
fine. Greg's actually, I like Greg Brady. I'm going to go on the record. But why would I have him over like 5 times if I didn't like him?
It's only
right?
been, I think, 3 times and maybe a kick out the jams, maybe. And then
Well,
Hepsi wouldn't
4.
leave,
That's-
so he
he's already-
kicked out the jams with
You're
me.
already at 4, so we're only off by 1.
It's a lot of jams.
When your big goal though is to get Hebsher and Taddy together, how can we facilitate that? They
'cause
got to be in the same room together.
I had a DM
because we want to be there when
well,
that
let
happens.
me tell you, Mr. Brady. So I had a DM exchange with with Jim Taddy,
Yeah.
and I said,
Why
I
not
told
do
him,
it?
I said, Jim, I co-host the show with Hebsy. He's game if you want to come on and we can talk about the good old days. And Taddy was very clear. He said, I don't want to talk about the past. I only look forward.
Okay.
So no thank you. So once I got that, this is now like 5 years ago or something. Once I got that polite, I'm not going to do it.
Because I think they
never
played a
asked
round of
again.
golf together, didn't they?
Yeah, they did since then. They
With
did.
Mitch Azaria?
Yep.
Another name?
And Azaria's is next door to the Crooked Q, where the Beezer farewell party was. At
See
Bloor
how this
and
all links
Queensway.
together, honey?
Azaria's, that's owned by the Mitch Azaria family.
But like, you're not asking Taddy and Hebsher to go on a 48-date North American tour. Just
Taddy?
They were rock stars. They were iconic. They were awesome together. So that needs to be said.
You're
Celebrate
preaching
that.
to the choir. You're preaching to the choir.
It's like a Brady Lang. I'll come in with Lang. What about that?
I would host
My
that
wife
episode.
is horrified by the thought of
Okay.
all this.
I would love a Brady and Lang episode. Okay?
Oh, we'll do it.
Because we need to. I feel like there's something there we need to
And,
like.
and I don't know if you'll ever get Bob McCown. You've been trying to get Bob McCown.
But
You've
I
been trying
haven't
to
tried
get.
since episode 500. So this is episode 1233. Okay.
Everyone's changed after
Listen,
the pandemic.
this is 1230. This is way pre-pandemic. But 1233 is what we're talking on right now. Okay. The last time I invited Bob McCown on Toronto Mike was episode 500. So this is years of
It's been a
pre-pandemic.
while.
And he did this public, I think his followers think I'm a dinosaur, so I'm not going to come on or something. And I never asked him again. Like, I actually lost all interest in Bob McCown being on Toronto Mike. If he walked by right now, I'd tell him to fuck right off.
Oh, my God.
That might do it.
Well, I think a 590 oral history is in the works because obviously the station's had a lot of heritage and it's been through a lot and a lot of battles and a lot of ups and downs. I think it'd be fascinating. I'll help you corral people for it.
Okay. But
The Globe Mail's going to be here another 100 years, so we're not terribly worried about that. The Fan, we don't know.
Did you hear the Toronto Telegram shut down? Did you hear that news? Okay. So here's how we're going to segue out here because I'm not editing the
Do
work.
you want me to yank?
Tell Pierson I need to talk to her, and then maybe Capito.
Alex would be great.
She's been over.
Yeah, she's good.
So I want to thank Rachel Brady, who's
I do
valued.
too. I do too for a lot of reasons.
So much here.
And
Thanks for
I wish I had a photo. Actually, can I take a photo?
Yeah,
Here,
of course.
hold on.
Oh my
So I'm going to pick. Okay. And then Alex is going to take Rachel's spot.
So much of this is going to be edited, isn't it?
Have you not heard
Come on,
the
honey,
show?
come on.
3, 2, 1. Honestly,
Our kids would be so happy.
good-looking couple. I'm going to tweet the
You're
shit
an
out of
attractive
that.
woman. I heard Mike tell you that 18 minutes ago.
I didn't mean to be surprised. She's been in my basement, Greg.
Been in the
She's
basement.
been in my basement. Okay. So,
I think what they liked, my memory of that episode is her and Christina down there, and you had your real estate guy,
Brian Gerstein.
and he said, "You guys have been in a lot of locker rooms. Has it been without incident?" And they both started giggling. I could hear them
You
giggling
just
on the
want to
side.
know if there's any like, big wangs.
What's going to
in
happen? They're going to
Toronto
drag them into the...
He wanted dirt from the locker room.
Yeah, he thinks they're a Boreas salmine or something like
Well,
that.
you saw the Harold Ballard video from the Ballard documentary. I don't think there's anything like that happening.
That video came from Ken Daniels, and I hosted that.
I know it did.
Okay, as long as you
I'm
know.
not sure if you're supposed to say
I'm
that.
the reason. Well, I think Ken's okay. Okay, so
But
thank
Alex.
you, Rachel Brady.
Yes.
Thank you, Greg
Sure.
Brady. Alex Pierson's going to sit here, so take off your headphones.
Everybody.
Thank you.
And maybe you
I'll
get me
get-
Capito. Get me
Okay.
AC.
Would you like to be
'Cause-
on with your boss? Like, what's
Oh,
better
well,
than that?
Let me do a little
Give her 10
Alex
minutes. Give her
boss.
10 minutes solo
Okay.
without that.
Then get me someone else, and then I'll close with Capito, and then it'll be full circle. So everybody, Alex Pierson, you're the best, Greg.
Okay.
Come back over, and we'll do a backyard episode. You two should come on together.
Who? Greg and I?
No, well, you and Greg would be great, but I'm thinking Greg and Rachel. So okay, so get right on that mic.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Alex,
I'm not that tall.
how long has it been? Like, I feel
Ages.
like it's been like, I don't know, 8 years or something?
I'd say about 7 years. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Boost you. You got to get right on that mic because there's lots of noise happening here.
There you go.
So how are you?
It has been very busy. It's like I blinked and 7 years went by.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any fun? Do you still look back at our time spent in my basement and think, oh, that was a wonderful time in my life?
I do. Well, you know, I hope I surprised you. Because I think you come in to those things where like, everyone's got a thought of who the other person
Well, yeah,
will be.
yeah.
And
'Cause
it's
I
like,
just
well,
think, Sun TV's
maybe
Alex
they'd be a
Pierson
jerk.
is coming over,
Yeah.
and she's going to say a bunch of crazy stuff, and you were delightful. I had a great experience with you.
charming.
And
Not
I didn't-
alarming.
Yeah, charming.
I try to be more
charming as
charming.
fuck. Can I say that? You can't say that on 640.
No, but I would, if I could.
And who is it who tipped me off? I think it was Neil Morrison, maybe. I'm trying to remember, but somebody tipped me off.
Uh-oh.
Alex Pierson. She loves her Hamilton punk.
Love it.
This guy should sit down right
it's
here.
Dave Bradley.
Okay, get Dave fucking Bradley on these microphones. Come on. Tell me, is this true? You have an admiration for Hamilton punk?
I just love Hamilton in general. But when I was younger in high school, like Teenage Head, Florida Razors, all that stuff like that.
Right.
Forgotten Rebels. Those were our bands.
Because Florida Razors is the Tom Wilson band, right?
We'd go and watch them and hang out.
Pre-Headstones?
Like 14-year-olds and drink and hang out and listen to music. I mean, Dayglow, Abortions, all these great bands would come through Hamilton. We would just go to these dive bars. And it was awesome.
See, I could do 90 minutes with you about the Hamilton scene.
Yeah, it's great. I love Hamilton.
Yeah, amazing. Introduce yourself, Mr. Bradley.
I'm Dave Bradley, the morning news anchor for 640 Toronto.
Okay, so did you enjoy your, what is the name of the beer?
Hold on a second. Award-winning.
Award-winning.
What award have you won?
A lot.
I won the, the Broadcast Magazine News Anchor of the Year. So
that's a prestigious award.
It's good. It's a pretty good award. So I don't like to boast.
Well, congratulations. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to do Alex and David here. So Alex, do you want to give us, I would do a catch-up, but it's been so long since you're in the basement. But remind us, what time slot are you hosting on 640 Toronto?
I see you've done a lot of research. So I've got the 9 to 12.
I knew that. Do you really think I don't know that?
9 to 12.
Because you used to be later.
I was at night, yes.
So this is like a promotion as far as I'm concerned.
It's very hard to raise a child when you never see them. So this shift works a little bit better.
And then you don't recognize them.
Yeah, when you're like, you're my child, right? And they're like, I don't know, who are you?
And then they're in therapy. And they're like, I never saw my mother.
Yeah, during a pandemic, my mother was nowhere to be seen.
So life is good. You're happy?
Life is very busy. Like, as you know, there's so much going on. So there's no shortage. There's no shortage of talk. In fact, I would like less to talk about. We need to find.
Well,
less
you can
to
make that
talk
happen.
about. We need happier times and better news.
I had again. I'm trying to remember these names, but there was a gentleman on this program a couple hours ago now, I guess, who is working with Amanda, who's responsible for
Jason Chapman.
Yes, Chappie.
Who the
I
hell
call him
is
Chappie.
It's Chappie. Who the hell is Jason Chapman? He's our executive producer.
So you work with Chappie.
Very much.
And then, so how do those meetings go? Like, you just say, okay, this is what Toronto's talking about?
Well, Dave's on the news side, so he's
Right.
kind of busy always harvesting that stuff. Jay does all the talk radio side. So, I mean, we kind of feed off of each other.
Right.
Yeah.
So David Bradley, you're delivering the news. You got Chappie, like, advising, and then Pierson's hosting, and then we got ourselves a bona fide, like, Toronto fucking talk station, right?
Yes,
This is
we
where
do.
we're at.
We do, and we're working on our own news stories, and we're trying to develop original stories and things like that. So, yeah, we're working hard to bring the news of the day.
And is the goal, I'm going to guess, okay, because I don't work for Chorus, so I can say these things, but the goal is, like, to kick 1010's ass? Is this the...
That can't be hard to do these days, right?
Okay, more on that. That's what I want to hear.
It's to kick everybody's ass. That's what we want to do.
Sadness I feel some days, but yeah.
But kicking 1010's ass,
well,
that's
we'll
the...
give him a run. Well, in this business, we're in it to win it.
Yeah, like back in the day when Chum and Q107 were going at it, it was
I think
like...
competition's good.
Yeah, absolutely. It is good. Yeah, totally. So it's
Makes us work
it's a healthy competition, and you always want to be first, right?
Nothing
so
but respect.
You're striving
Nothing
for the
but
best.
respect.
Well, I mean, even with regards to we're at GLB Brewpub right now. I remember going to events at Great Lakes Etobicoke location before this opened up, and it would be like Jim Richards would be there, and Mike Bendixson would be there, and Jerry Agar, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're drinking."
Well, you're in
like,
his hood. You're in Jerry's hood.
I've
you can
only
probably
met him
hear
once.
him yell. Oh yeah, is he out there in your neighborhood yelling?
Is he? Where would I find him? Is he walking Queensway? Where would I find Jerry Agar?
I don't know, but if you do, you'll love him. He's a big teddy bear.
Now that you mention it, there's a guy I thought might be Jerry Agar who wanders Lakeshore, and now I know it's Jerry Agar. Okay, amazing. Yeah, so you could say it. Like, I don't know. You're probably going to be too polite to say it, but fuck 1010, right? Like, this
No,
is...
you know what? It saddens me. They're a legacy station.
I'm looking for a good
me,
soundbite there.
I know. I can't. It's I can't. It's a legacy station, and frankly, we need more. Like, we need better. more
But Wally
radio.
Crowder's dead.
Well, okay.
I spent 10
And he's like,
years
yeah.
at 1010.
So how did you give us a little the David Bradley bio? Like, how do you end up at 640?
At 640, as a matter of fact, I ran into Jason Chapman. We live in the same neighborhood.
Chappie, he's my new buddy. He's called
I know.
Chappie.
So I ran into him on the street,
Wow.
and he said, "We'd love to have you there." And I said, "Okay, let's talk." And we started talking, and then one thing led to another. And he says, "We may have an opening." because the morning news anchor at the time, he left to go out west.
And good timing, though.
So,
because
yeah, it was
then
just-
they
it was
hauled
sort of
out
a-
Who was
newsroom,
the
right?
morning news anchor who went out west?
Jamie Twill.
Okay, yeah, I know his name. Okay.
So he'd been around for many years at 640. So he went to pursue television opportunities out west.
He was too handsome for radio?
Apparently, yeah. So he leaves the radio to the
You're
ugly
sitting
people
beside
like
a
us.
TV star, you know.
Yeah, TV's a lot easier, I gotta be honest. I went from TV thinking radio would be easier and less work, and now I'm like, oh my God, this is so much more work.
Yeah.
So much
And
more
you're doing it all yourself.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
well, you gotta be able to talk.
Yeah.
But you can do it in sweatpants, right?
I can do it in my pajamas, yes. I often do.
I don't often get dressed up.
Do they make you Dave? Do they make you come to Queen's Quay?
I do. Yeah. Yeah, so through the pandemic, even working, so I came to 640 Toronto during the pandemic. I've been there for a couple of years now.
What a fun time to start.
It was an interesting time
Like
to start.
going
There was
into
nobody in the
apocalypse,
building, so I was by myself. I haven't had a tour of the place, a proper tour yet,
Right.
but yeah. So
Was that you pissing in the plant?
I think I missed 2 days of work through the entire pandemic. For a spell, I was riding the TTC. As a matter of fact, I was riding the
least you
subway.
lived.
It was me and nobody else. It was
I
great.
believe it.
Yeah.
So I'm always curious about this Queen's Quay slide.
Oh, yeah, the slide.
Yeah,
Apparently, I just saw today, I think Amanda Capito said she just went down the slide today.
Why
You're
would
allowed
you?
to go down. I don't know. I thought maybe there's insurance got and said, hey.
I don't think you're supposed to run and slide. I think you're just supposed to slow.
No.
But it's a
I
way
haven't had
better
the
way to
chance
get
yet.
downstairs. What do you mean? It's been there for
I
years.
still haven't ridden the slide. It's
That's
always
why
been
I'm
closed.
asking.
Yeah.
So you, Alex Pierson, have been in the slide.
I've done the slide, yes. No one was
just
around,
once?
though.
Oh,
Well,
no
yeah,
one
I
was
was with
around.
my kid. I had to show him that I would do it.
Okay, how old is this kid?
He's just turned 10.
Okay,
Just.
perfect
Yeah.
slide. Oh, maybe a little old now,
Yeah,
but
like,
it
he
was
was like 6 or 7.
okay. Amazing. So this event here. So when was the last public radio event that you guys were at? I feel like
Monday. We did the
Oh,
Merrill.
Monday.
I know. You know what? No, but
Pre-pandemic.
we don't get to go out and do live stuff, which is always really, really fun.
So what happened Monday?
We took our live truck out to Nathan Phillips Square to do the mayoral registration. It was just
Okay.
nice to be out there, you know?
I had Ed Keenan in the
Yeah.
basement today for 2 hours.
Lucky.
We
Oh,
talked about
gosh.
this because I know he.
Well, he can talk for 2 hours. He's literally a guy who can just say, he can say anything.
Well, I said to Ed, this is a hard 2 hour. I'm going to stop this at 2 hours because we're going to see each other again tonight. I'm too much Keenan in my diet, although I put him on with his wife Rebecca, which was fun. But who's your horse in this race? Who would you like, and who do you think's going to win this Merrill race?
I have no idea.
And I know we don't know everyone who's
422
registered.
candidates. I'm interested in hearing Rob Davis. I'm interested in Anthony Fury. I don't mind an outsider.
I heard he's
coming
here
in.
today.
He did drop by.
He's gone already?
I don't know. I think
No,
so.
it's- it's fine.
He's an outsider, and I think he's worth listening to. I don't know who's going to win. It's one of those really weird elections.
Yeah.
So many people are running that the winner could be anybody because the vote split could be so big.
And I think voter turnout's going to be such a big story in this by-election because it's
I think people will come out.
the middle of summer.
Well,
it's
No,
usually
but don't forget,
June 26th.
people voted last time. I think people were exhausted.
Yeah.
You were just getting out of all that.
And we knew who was
Tory,
going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Tory was
Slaughter
almost a
very
foregone
important.
conclusion at that point. So it was like, is there,
Brad
a
Bradford I
candidate
like
that could-
too. I think he's got a really good team behind him. So there are a few people I think.
Do you know
that-
Stephanie Smythe is his communications person?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Everyone's got
Fun
to
fact.
redefine their career after they get the old. So you're ready to move on?
Right,
No, well, you're going to
okay.
move on anyway. Right?
Well, she's promised to come over and talk about it because
Good.
she quite a story there, I'm sure. But
you going to talk to George Legajanis? I was sad to see him
you know
go.
what? He said yes.
Good.
Well, hold on. Don't celebrate too early. Then I got a note from him, and I kept something to the effect of I know I said I'd come over, but I'm going to take some time or whatever. So I just he's not in the calendar right now, and I'm just I don't think he'll come on. To be
It's
honest.
such a transition, and I've gone through it a couple of times when you think you're done and then you aren't done. You get out of it, and then you're like, but what else am I going to do? Because I loved what I did, and it's just a
Right.
hard transition.
Right. So David Bradley, how long you been at 640 now? I should know this. Where's my notes? Okay. How long you been at 640 now?
A couple of years now.
Okay, because you're the pandemic guy.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm the pandemic.
And you've yet to go down the slide.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't really
We should have
know
a
where the
race. We should
candy
do a race
machine
or a
is
contest.
at this
Who
point.
can go down it faster?
Yeah,
put oil and
it's going to
stuff
be
on
me
it.
because I'm heavier.
It's
That's
going
the
to
problem.
be David because he's heavier.
Yeah.
I think there's
That's
like
the way gravity
physics,
works.
right? Well, come on, Pierson, you get smoked in that race. I think you'd get destroyed.
Depends.
You'd have to put like rocks in your pocket. Bulk up. So how does it work? I just had Greg Brady on the mic. He's been over a bunch of times. But how's it been
much energy.
with Greg Brady in the morning? Oh.
It's been great. As a matter of fact, it's been really good. I mean, focusing in on a lot of the stories of the day and sort of setting the tone for the city. So I find we've really sort of made that transition and pushing forward. And then I find the morning is a really good example of sort of the newsroom and the talk shows working well together. So we have meetings before the show goes on and sort of talk about
Is
what's
he in
sort
his
of
bath
bubbling.
when he's having that meeting?
No, he's in the car at that point. But
Does
he's
he
out of the
down
bath.
like a Red Bull before the show or whatever? 'Cause
I don't. He doesn't.
I mean, he's like 75 years old.
He does have a bath before he comes in,
It's
which
so
I think is weird
crazy.
still.
Who admits that?
I don't know. But
Do you have a bath?
Who
Who
has
has
that
a bath
No.
at 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
It's like, I haven't had a bath since I was like 10 years old.
Like you're out of bed, your eyes are just like, and you're like, I just can't run this
Who's
bath.
got
And then what
that
do you do
kind
when
of
you're running
time,
the
right?
bath?
Like your shower is like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
tops.
totally.
That it's like you're.
Yeah,
Who's
just
got
to
time
run
for
the
a
water
bath?
takes
So
too
I
much
don't.
time.
I don't think I knew this. So Greg Brady
Maybe
wakes
it's a
up in his.
Oh, he's admitted this on air.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this
sure.
is not a secret that
so
we're exposing.
Greg Brady wakes up in his Ajax mansion. Okay, wakes up next to Rachel Brady from the Globe and Mail, award-winning writer, and he gets he draws, because that's the terminology with baths. You draw a bath. He draws a hot bath and he just soaks
He
in this
sits and
bath.
thinks
Does
about
he
what
put,
am I going to talk about this morning?
like salts or
I
whatever?
have no idea. Like, does he put oils in it? I don't know.
Wow. Okay, and then
Because I wouldn't think of taking a bath.
And
at
how
that
long
time
are
of
these
the-
baths? Does he reveal?
10 minutes. He said 10 minutes.
Well,
He's only a 10-minute bather?
I feel
Well,
it
how much
takes.
time would he have? It's just
Doesn't
10
it
minutes
take?
of running.
It takes 10 minutes to draw a bath.
Yeah,
no,
true.
I don't know. I only do it for my kids.
Yeah.
Like, it takes right. It takes a long time to draw a bath.
It does. It's frustratingly
I don't know.
long,
I
as a
only do
matter
it for
of
my
fact.
wife.
I wish I knew this. I wish I knew this before Greg.
That'd be
Greg came
go. You
over.
could have asked Rachel about it.
You know what?
Is that hot?
Because I was thinking, like, I think I'm gonna close with you two because
I want to talk to Greg.
2.5. No. I'm gonna literally close with you two. 2.5 hours. This has been a great event. Did you have a good time here? I never got any food. Did you eat?
Like,
Oh,
no.
you didn't get food? I think there's
No,
some
because
left.
There's some crusty stuff over
Pina
there.
was gonna bring me food, but it's like I'm talking for 2.5
Yeah,
hours.
that's true.
Like,
You can't really
how do you?
stop
You know,
and
it's not like I go to commercial breaks. You know.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
And
Food's
if I
good,
do,
though.
I have to read these commercial breaks. So, on that note, if
Yeah.
either of you two, this is important, if you have old tech, like an old smartphone or like an old printer or an old television, don't, Alex Pierson, don't throw it in the garbage. Those chemicals can end up in our landfill. You go to recyclemyelectronics.ca. Go to recyclemyelectronics.ca. Find out a safe depot to drop it
What
off.
about that paint I put down the drain?
That's a whole different. That's a different sponsor.
It's a different recycle.
Alex Pierson draw paint. I'm gonna tell Diane Sachs.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's gonna
I
be
worked with
awesome.
her for years, and she had the Green Economy Hero. She'll be very upset if you put paint down the drain. But go to recyclemyelectronics.ca. Thank you, EPRA. And here's what we're gonna agree on before I play us out with some Lois Low. So, Alex, we know you like your Hamilton Punk.
Yep.
But at some point, when it's convenient for you, would you return
The
to my
basement?
basement to kick out the jams?
You can kick out the jam.
I've only been asking you for 8 years or so. You would love it.
I was there
I
8
know.
years ago. I thought that was enough.
Well,
I thought,
you
I got
don't
to know
have-
her, and she's not a beast, but
Enough. It's never enough, okay, Alex? But so that's a formal invitation. And David Bradley, you've got great pipes. I mean, Alex has great
thank you.
pipes, but I'm listening in the headphones. You got to cut some promos for me. You're listening
oh,
to
he's
Toronto
so
Mike.
good. He's a Nat sound guy. He knows where to use it. He's really good at it.
All right. And you should come over, too. At some point, we can do a proper one-on-one
Yeah,
deep
I'd be
dive.
happy to.
And then you'll leave with your Palma Pasta lasagna, and you'll leave with your Great Lakes beer, and it would be amazing.
A lot of carbs.
Yeah, but he can handle some carbs.
I can.
He's fit. That's a nice shirt, too.
Well, thank you very much. You know, my 6-year-old daughter picked it out. We went shopping together, and she's like, "Daddy,
Who picked
you
out
would
the
look
hat?
good."
Your grandfather?
No, that's me.
No, just kidding.
I bought this on the Halifax
kids,
Pier.
How many kids you have?
I have 2.
And what are their ages?
10 and 6. So yeah,
Beautiful.
it's a handful, but it's fun, right? It's
Well,
rewarding.
my youngest just turned 7 like 2 weeks ago, so she just left the world of 6 for 7, and everything's changed.
Yes, of
Everything
course.
changes.
So thanks for doing this. I'm glad I'm closing with Alex Pierson and David Bradley. This was a fun event, and I had a lot of good chats, but thank you guys for doing this. I can barely hear. There's music playing in the background, and I can't even hear it. I'm just going to trust it's there. Is that your, Alex, was that your snort? Was it?
Of course you picked that
Do you do that
up.
on 640?
No, not often.
You
Try
save,
not to.
You save that for your podcast appearances. And that... There it is. Now I hear it. That brings us to the end of our 1,233rd show. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Toronto Mike. AM640 is at AM640. All these wonderful people are probably on Twitter. Go find them. Go follow them. Our friends at Great Lakes Brewery are at Great Lakes Beer. Palma Pasta is at Palma Pasta. Moneris is at Moneris. Recycle My Electronics are at EPRA_Canada. The Moment Lab. They're at The Moment Lab. And Ridley Funeral Home are at Ridley FH. See you all next week for Toast.
And I'll play this guitar just the best that I can.